Okay.
Shit.
Well, then we're ready to start in 15 seconds.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, I am.
Well, I
Well,
am.
like the stream will go live. We are live now.
I got to
There's
take a big dump. I'll be back in 15
There's
seconds.
15-second delay,
Okay.
if you know what I mean. It'll be 15 seconds until
And
you see.
then the cat's rectums were all over the front of the car.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we're ready to start then.
I think
I
so.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Come on, baby.
Big head like this bookie work.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Chinny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that you're playing this week.
Flippin'
News,
about.
reviews and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. Veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
Right in the butt.
Yeah, boy.
Beep, 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 beep.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
I am very happy to be here.
Hello and welcome to episode 756 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, 756. What's up, people? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
One sec.
Oh, God.
And that's Chinny.
I'm Chinny.
Yeah, eventually.
He's too cool to introduce himself.
No,
He's
I'm
too
not.
cool to do a lot of stuff.
I'm not.
Too cool. Cool for school.
He was choking on some nuts or something.
I was eating
Yeah.
a yum.
I think you were eating a D's.
Yeah, I think he was eating a diva snack. That's what he were eating.
He's not.
Okay.
That's the way your real diva like the flaws sit.
So what's going on, people? What's happening? How was your week?
Yeah, mine was pretty good. I finished for my holidays. I'm off for 2 weeks now.
Yay.
2 whole bloody weeks.
Man, it must be nice to have a lot of vacation time.
I know.
Haha, Chinny, you have to go to a job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ginny, you do. And also, can I say, I started it off with a bang.
Oh, yeah?
Living-
What kind of
living-
bang?
A big, old fucking bang.
Like
Because
the kind of bang you might
this
hear
is
from a
kind of
creep.
this is kind of story time now, so I don't know whether you want to get into this.
Oh, snap. We do
My
want to get
favorite
into
time.
this.
It's story time.
Moving right into story time. Let's
time.
go.
So yesterday, I went to my first ever daytime disco.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
I know.
That
Well, I'm
sounds.
old.
That sounds sad.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is. It's totally a thing that's happening in the UK all over the place. So
I've-
rather than
By the
go-
way, Duke, he's making this out like it's happening everywhere. Everyone's talking about. I have
I assume you've been to 3 in the last
I have
6 months.
it's-
never heard of this.
it's a big thing. It's a big thing now.
You just aren't cool enough to know about it. Chinny.
Annie
So
Mac.
Go ahead, Stu.
Annie
Daytime
Mac.
disco.
Yeah.
Annie Mac started
I know
all this
her.
off.
Yeah.
With,
I've heard that name.
She was doing what she called before midnight sets. So she'd do a DJ set and it finished before midnight. So, you know, us oldies who want to still experience a nightclub can go to a nightclub, but we're home by 11 o'clock or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Apparently, there's also an American mortgage company called Annie Mac. So, you know, whether you go to see a
Maybe.
disco
No,
in the
no.
daytime or you trying to get a house.
That's the one. That's the same one.
Same one, yeah. That's
She
her
does-
her night job because
She
her
does-
day job is daytime discos.
Yeah, brokerage and DJing. She does both of these things. So yes, we went to a place called Joshua Brooks in Manchester,
Oh yeah.
and
Go on.
the Shapeshifters were DJing. So they do sort of like funky house music, which is kind of what I was expecting. You know, because a DJ and you're expecting to play similar stuff to what they produce, because they produced like, you know, biggest hit was Lola's theme, which was like big massive hit in the like late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay. That would be weird if, they went in and did like folk music as
Well,
DJ.
yeah, you'd expect that. You'd expect that, wouldn't you? That'd be weird. But but instead of playing like loads of vocal, soulful house or disco house or anything like that, he kind of played hardcore. It was kind of
Really?
like, yeah, it wasn't mega fast. It was probably about,
off the floor.
yeah, well, it probably wasn't quite that hard. Probably wasn't quite hard.
I want to rip your eyes out.
Yeah, nothing like that. But they sort of played about 126, 128 beats a minute, so fairly fast, I guess.
Oh, I bet you was in the crowd,
I
wasn't
love
you?
how it's like 126. Yeah, like everyone's like, oh, I think it was more 123. Like myself, those numbers. I'm sorry, they mean very little to me and Chinny. So
not a lot of vocals, just a lot of beats.
Okay.
A lot of beats.
Just a lot of beats, very bassy. It was fine. And then he got to about 9 o'clock. It was like a 4-hour set, so it started at 6, finished at 10. And I danced for pretty much non-stop for 4 hours. You know what I mean? I had a lot of fun.
we need to see some video footage of Stu getting down at the hardcore
No
bass
video didn't
disco.
happen. No video didn't happen.
Yeah, you've seen me dance, Ginny. I was at your wedding, boogieing on the dance floor.
You were dancing at my wedding, yeah.
I was. I didn't need to be pissed because obviously I don't drink anymore, so that's fine. I just got stuck in, and it was. I'll be honest,
naturally uninhibited. Yeah.
The place, it was a bit grim. I've got to say, it was like we walked into the bar, wooden floors. Walked into the bar at the top, and it was proper sticky floors. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter, man. You're there for the music.
And then,
the grimier, the better, right? I mean,
well,
that's the whole idea behind.
That's kind of what happened. So we went.
I need to dance, and if the floor's all sticky, I just don't know if I can get down.
The actual nightclub was underneath it, so it was in like a basement.
Yeah,
and
that's right. They have blood sprinklers like in Blade.
All the walls were painted black, so it was fucking dark.
This sounds like the best venue ever.
All right. And this was the worst bit. And I'm assuming it's because everyone was so hot and sweaty, right?
Yeah, they were.
But
Can't even start off the show without talking about sweating guys.
Exactly. There was pipe work on the ceilings, but it was covered in condensation, which was dripping on you. I mean, I was getting
the pipes were dripping, were they?
It was.
I bet there was pipe work going on the ground too. You like that pipe work?
It was just weird. But that being all said, it was a pretty good night until the end, right? So for the last hour, he played a bit of like vocal house. I'm like, oh, he's going to do this now for the last hour. And he did about 2 or 3, and then he went back to what he'd been playing all night. And I'm like, it's all right, I guess. Got to the end, right? And he'd not played Lola's theme, which is the Shapeshifter's biggest hit single. Wouldn't you think?
Gotta play that.
He's
DJing. Came here to hear.
He's surely got to play it. It didn't play, right? So he sort of lights came up. He stopped playing. And then all
Stu
the
started going,
boo,
boo,
no.
suck.
So all the crowd's chanting one more tune really loudly for about a good solid minute. Right?
That's such an ego thing, man.
Expecting him to play, but he didn't even make eye contact. He was like, "Nah, I'm out of here. Fuck you lot," and that was it. He was just,
that's crazy.
That's the move.
We were just like, and even some of the then some of the crowd did start to boo a bit. You know what I mean? But it was like,
I mean, you can't. I mean, if he did a DJ set for an hour, that's a long time. Like, can't expect him
4 hours. 4 hours he did.
Well, okay, 4 hours in.
He did a 4-hour set. But yeah, but fucking hell, he never played Lola's theme. Everyone's like, what the hell is going
on the way home? I mean, don't get me right. I hear you. Like, if I went to see Orbital and they didn't do the whole "You Give Love a Bad Name" and "Heaven on Earth" mashup, like I mean, you got to play that live, Orbital. Come on.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing, which was a bit weird, right? Because he created, Shapeshifter's songs, you'd expect him to have some edits that is not released, or do something with it to make it a bit different.
Well, you would hope so. Yeah, exactly. The Orb Live, when they put out their live album, I was like, come on, it's such a different album. Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, right, he wasn't playing live, he was just DJing, so he was just doing
I know, but still, the experience should be.
You'd have thought he'd have produced some, like, different edits of the songs they'd, like, released, or you heard some of it. No, he just played the standard, like, 12-inch single version.
He just put his Spotify on shuffle. It's just like...
No, he was DJ. I'll give him his due. He did DJ pretty well. He was a pretty good DJ. But I don't know. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I was a little bit disappointed. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry you were disappointed.
No, only a little bit. I still had a great night, and I still enjoyed myself dancing all night. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just not what I was expecting. And I guess that's weird, isn't it? When you're expecting one thing and you get something completely different. So there you go.
C'est la vie.
Yeah, but it was still good. Like I say, still had a great night. Definitely would go to another one for sure.
Okay, glad to hear it. Chinny, what was the highlight of your week?
Well, we had a bit of a family day today. So Tara made a curry, and Tara's brother wasn't bothered that's all about where he eats the curry, in the middle of the street, whatever, as long as you got to see the England game. And,
Yeah, wow, fucking hell.
and I'm not going to talk about the England game because I don't care, but I do know the result. and it was a good curry from scratch.
Oh,
Which is definitely better than the England game.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, made pakora stew. Lovely.
Nice, I love a pakora. I like pakoras, I like onion barges, I like samosas.
The
Just
lot.
give me all that stuff. Just give me all that
We
stuff.
got a shop by us called Samosa Boy, and they do dessert.
Samosa Boy.
They do dessert samosas.
Nice.
So like Biscoff biscuit samosas, and that one. There's Oreo samosas, and they're called Rita Oreos.
I like that.
And then the biscuit is taking the biscuit. So
Nice.
if anybody's in the Wolverhampton Tetnall Road area, go to Samosa Boy.
Go to samosa.
Check
Boy.
it out, y'all.
Do you know when we used to go down to Leicester to Kay's sister and brother-in-laws, which at the time he wasn't because we weren't married, so it wasn't my brother, it was only Kay's, but he is my brother-in-law now. Anyway, we used to go down there, and he used to make a curry from scratch because he got like recipes off teachers he worked with and stuff, and he used to make these really cool curries. And we used to go to the Indian sweet shops in Leicester, and honestly,
They're
some of the
awful.
stuff. No, they're brilliant.
No.
Some of the stuff you can get in there, like stuffed chilies,
No.
samosas,
Oh, samosas
onion
are okay.
barges.
But I swear, Indian desserts, Indian sweets.
Oh, they're very, very
What?
sweet.
What are you talking about,
Indian
Chinny?
sweets are vile. They're
I
just-
mean, if you're talking about like the little like cake type things
I don't know what
that
they
are like pink and green and white, like
Yeah, that's
the
the
Dutch
one.
gets into those sometimes. Those aren't so good, but they have some that are like coconut that
Yeah,
are milder.
yeah.
Like there's two different kinds of Indian sweets.
Some of the
like-
the
sweets
kind you're
are
talking about, I know
very,
they're
very
very
sweet.
I love
Some
Indian
of them are
food.
milder.
It's
and
one
they're
of, if
better,
I could,
so.
I would eat Indian food every day. And I remember being at school, and this girl called Nisha said, "Oh, Chino, we're selling these sweets. Like we're selling samosas. I had a samosa, obviously. She's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Chino, we're selling these sweets. Like, you know, do you want some of these sweets?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll have some of these sweets." I ate them, and I just did not have the heart to tell her that they were fucking awful.
Oh yeah.
So-
Well, okay. So, but you're not
They're-
going to
they
hate
are
on
an
gulab jamun, are
acquired.
you?
They are an acquired taste.
What did
it's
you
fair.
say,
No,
dude?
you shouldn't acquire them. They're nasty. Did you? You're not hating on gulab jamun, are you?
I don't
The
know. I've never met him.
Balls of. Ah.
I don't
Well,
know.
somebody out there hopefully knows what gulab jamun is, and they're not
you
hating
need to
on it.
play the clip, Duke.
Seriously?
No, no, it doesn't.
You-
Is it a
I
coconut
mean, if
ball?
nobody understands, nobody
is,
understands.
it a coconut ball?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not coconut, but it's like I don't know, some sort of like pudding type thing.
Another reference by Duke that no one understands.
Amar will know what I'm talking
No one
about.
on this,
Oh, Amar
no
will.
one, no one on this show understands.
No,
But,
they
no,
don't.
Fine.
but yeah, we had a bit of a day. Rosa watched the football. She didn't really care.
Yeah.
I'm sure she did. Was she just rolling in front of
She's
the telly?
rolling around, doing poos, you know,
Rolling left all the way around the
all
living
that
room.
sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
that was it.
Yeah. Just real quick, an announcement, everybody. I've got a cover for the new book. Shared it in the WhatsApp if Chinny wants to throw it up on the screen. It's called Brains: How to Survive Apocalyptic Bibliophilia. And it's the story of this woman trying to make a library during the zombie apocalypse. It should be out in September. So, yeah, I spent the week doing layout for the text inside and then making the front and back covers, the spine. And I sent it off for a proof that should be here maybe in a week or two. And the Duchess will proof it as soon as she can. And then, like I say, hopefully it will be out in September. I'm very eager
Well,
to have
to be
people...
fair, I am intrigued, Duke, because what I'm thinking at this moment in time is who's using a library in the zombie apocalypse? Who's going there?
Well, that's exactly the question that one of the main characters asks of the other main character.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you do it. Libraries are for lending books, and if everybody's dead, the zombies reading. I don't know.
That's the thing. That's the question, man.
I think the
Why do we need a library?
I think the
I'm intrigued.
survivors are reading, aren't they? I think.
Well, how do
You'll
you
have
get
to read
there?
the book
though?
to find out.
How do you get there
but
without getting killed? Though?
Are the
That's...
books the zombies?
I'm not. I've already. No, that's
No.
not it.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not going to say anything more. No, I'm going to say that that's not it.
Yeah, that's not the plot.
That's
But
not
it's,
it.
uh,
That's not
I,
it.
I feel like
Do
I feel
come-
very connected to these characters. I think it's a good story, and I hope other people like it too.
I'm out.
Oh,
that's
if-
fine.
No, because if there's
Wow.
no zombie books, then I can't I can't read this nonsense.
I'm not saying there are no zombie books,
Yeah,
but there are. But there are.
but no, I want
It's
books
a
that
zombie
come
book
alive
about
as
zombies and
zombies.
books. So how's that?
No, I want
Yeah,
I
well,
want little
you should read the
zombie
Terry
books.
Pratchett books because in the Discworld, I believe the books move around in the library. So I could be wrong about that.
No, I
Somebody
meant
out there,
that.
let me know if I'm right about Terry Pratchett
I
books.
can be in for that. That's fine. So
Yeah, in
Sure.
for that.
There you go.
Possessed
There's-
Right, but we're not here to talk about books. Books are for nerds. We're here
Correct.
to talk about video games.
nerds.
Yeah, so we're ready to talk about what we've been playing.
Yeah, I guess.
Where are you going? Story time's over.
What you been playing?
What you been playing? What you been playing?
Yeah, what have you been playing? Yeah.
Yeah, should I go first?
Yeah,
Looks like
why
I have
not?
a
I've only got
Okay.
one game, and that was Uncharted 4. I didn't even play.
Did you not even play Humanity? Oh,
God,
Mike.
Ginny.
Mike.
You know, I think the Israeli Defense
Mike.
Forces are doing horrible things in Gaza, but you,
Yeah,
oh my
Mike.
God.
I am next to them. Aren't I?
Come on,
Jesus
Mike.
Fucking
Mike.
hell.
Come on, Mike.
Come on,
You
man.
make me want to vomit.
God, you
Okay.
could have played at least a
Anyway,
one level.
all right, shut up.
What's the matter with you?
Be quiet. Shush. Far Cry 6. What happened. I said that I had looked in my Ubisoft library, right? The app. Everything's got an app. So I looked in there and it was like Far Cry 6. I'm like, I don't remember buying that. I guess I must have gotten it free in a giveaway. You know what it is? It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, you know. And for those who don't know, I have been a huge fan of Far Cry since 2. Yeah. I played Far Cry 2 back on the Xbox 360, and I have enjoyed all of the Far Cry games because they are first-person shooters, which I like. They are open world. Hey, but there's a quest log, so I like that. They're telling you what to do, but you don't have to do it exactly when they say and in the order that they tell you to do it in. And there's a physicality of the games that I really love, right? When you get in a car, it's like you're swinging the door open and you're sliding in and you start it up and all that, right? And even though you can't, normally when I'm driving in a game, I really like to have a third person perspective on the vehicle. It doesn't really matter that that doesn't happen by default in this game. You're still driving in a first person sense, but it's not too bad. You know what I mean?
It's
They've
visceral.
managed to,
It's a way of like
it is visceral.
getting the game,
Exactly.
like making you feel like you're really you're stuck in that game.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And as I said last week, that's something that Still Wakes the Deep does well. So to give it credit, you know, but I whatever. The point is, I was like, all right, this has been out for a minute. Let's give it a try. Now, the first thing that happens when you play this game, and Chinny hopefully will put the video on the screen so other people can see it too. Giancarlo Esposito is in this game. And he is a magnificent actor. Y'all know this guy, right?
He is.
Yes.
He's in everything.
he was
Gustavo-
in
Gustavo
Breaking
Fring
Bad.
is-
He's
is
in
a big-
everything.
Yep. He is in everything. He's in The Usual Suspects. He's in Bob Roberts, which is one of the best movies about politics in
He's
America.
in
So
trading,
he's a great actor. I
trading
love
places.
him. Is he really in Trading Places?
He's
I
in
don't
the
remember
prison
that.
in trading places. Yeah, very
I'll
young.
take your word for it.
Mm.
So I'm looking forward to seeing him because he's a great actor. I'm looking forward to the gameplay. I'm not looking forward to the story
No.
because the Far Cry games they're deeply pessimistic. And the reason I say that is because not just because there's blood and death and murder and all that. I say they're pessimistic because in the second game, you're in this war-torn African country. It's not very clearly delineated which one. It doesn't really matter for the purposes of the game, right? And you have all these allies that you bring together throughout the course of the game. And at the end of the game, they all turn on you and you have to kill all of them. Okay. In the third game, you're on some island. I don't remember exactly what
You're
the
like
story is,
you're
but
like
there's
on
some
holiday.
woman.
You're on holiday and
Yeah,
like, you-
right. And then
your
you
brother,
get
your
drawn
brother,
into this.
Your brother gets kidnapped, and you
Right.
save your brother. It turns out they kill your brother. Lol. And then it's you make a choice whether to join the cult or to save your remaining friends.
Right. But there's something if you save your friends, it's not a good ending. Like it's a nasty, gruesome type of thing. I don't know exactly
I'm
what
not
it is, but it's
sure.
not a happy ending, I recall. I could be wrong, but I seem to recall it not being a happy ending. You do have a choice there, though. I do remember making a choice. In the fourth game, which takes place basically in India, but it's like a fictitious South Asian country, you have this dictator who runs the place, and then you have these two people who are part of this rebel group, and you can sort of take one side or the other of the two people leading this rebel group, and then based on who you choose to align with when they get into office, either they are narco terrorists or they're like sex traffickers. Like no matter which choice you make, you end up in this nightmare scenario because the rebels are just as bad as the dictator they got rid of. And in Far Cry 5, it's spoilers for Far Cry 5. I don't want anyone to have this bad problem. Where's the warning sound? I moved all my sounds.
I really don't think anyone cares.
I know, but you never know. Anyway, so Far Cry 5, you're chasing this cult leader, psychopath, Montana militia dude, and then by the end of the game, he's right there in front of you, and for some reason you don't kill him, and then the nuclear bombs go off, and you have to spend 10 years in a bomb shelter with him or something. So, you know, this game starts off that same way, right? Like, okay, this person is pure evil. You see them do all the evil stuff. I just know that when I get to him, I'm not, you know, you can kill the dictator in Far Cry 4, right? You can shoot his helicopter out of the sky with an RPG or whatever. But it's not the kind of satisfying finish to the story that you want to see, right? And I can't help feeling like Ubisoft is like thinking, okay, these movements for change that we see around the world are just a plot device, something to make the game more interesting. But there's no point, the game tells us, trying to actually make things better, because the people who end up, you know, taking over just become just as bad as the dictators they got rid of. And yes, that does happen, but it's not always the way it goes. And it sends a very pessimistic message, because for some of us, the fight against dictatorship is not some abstract idle thing in the background. Some of us work constantly to demand human rights in places around the world and to make systematic change. And so it's just frustrating to me that Ubisoft uses it as like, oh, here's this fun thing to do, but lol, there's no point in actually trying to do it, because, you know, nothing ever comes of it.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the kind of stories they want to tell us.
I think this was an interesting change, I think, because the cutscenes in Far Cry 6, if I remember correctly, will, for the first time ever in the series, third person, Duke. Is that right?
Yeah, I think you do see your character, which is for the first. I don't know.
Weird.
I don't remember seeing that in the other games, but
It's never been like that.
You have more customization options than ever before, so I kind of like that. Yeah. Other things that are new in this game. The color is always done well in Far Cry games. I remember. I mean, when you need to climb up on something, right? There's clear indicators that that's where you go to climb up on stuff. And again, Still Wakes the Deep did this well. I think the good games that have parkour, yeah, exactly. The grappling hook is always a lifesaver in Far Cry games, because it uses the verticality of these locations very well. It also is apparently going to be drugging me the way that previous Far Cry games did. Right? You remember in 5 when you end up wandering fields and you're having hallucinations and, you know, blurring vision and all that, because Giancarlo Esposito is growing some plant that causes people to have hallucinations. So I'm just like, oh, I wonder how that's going to manifest later on in the game. There is good dialogue. The dialogue is amusing and the characters are interesting. I'll always give them credit for that. You have an amigo system in this game where you can have different companions working with you, right? And the first one you get is a crocodile. So it's just pretty cool. You go up to a base and, like, you know, in order to set things off, you might blow up a gas tank over there and then send your crocodile to attack the person on the left, right? When you shoot the person in the middle or whatever. Yeah. It's as always, the best thing about these games is going up to a base. They have no idea what's about to happen and you cause a lot of mayhem. Speaking of which, one of the weapons you have with you is this thing that's on your back, and I think it's called the Supremo, because there's a lot of Spanish language stuff. You're fighting for Libertad and everything is Spanish language. So you basically have like an ultimate weapon, and when it's V on the PC keyboard by default, when you hit the button, your character like drops to their knees and is like, yeah, and you fire rockets from your back, at least the first one you get. And it's like, and it's, again, a great way to start with an attack on a base, or if you're kind of cornered, you can just do that. There was a helicopter attacking me recently, and I was just like, trying to shoot it out with an AK, but you're not going to do much damage to a helicopter with an AK. And so I was like, oh yeah, this thing. And I hit the button. I was like, yeah, and it fired rockets, and one of them took the helicopter out. I was like, yes.
I totally forgot that was this game. Like I've played about 15 hours of this. It's the first.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
didn't
it's the
realize you played
first
this.
Far Cry game that I haven't finished. I never finished it.
Oh, okay.
Me and Marsh
Gotcha,
were playing
gotcha.
it, and I felt like it sort of just became very bloated. It's bigger than all the
Yeah.
others. There's a lot of like.
What, you don't want to go fishing?
Yeah, but
There's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of-
Ubisoft. Let's be honest, a lot of Ubisoft games are
But
like
this
that.
one in
They have
particular, though, this one in particular
icon
bugged me
after
because-
fucking icon
but
after
I-
icon.
But I've played a lot of them, Stu. So why this one didn't get me was
I
like,
think
the-
right.
the-
I think
the
they're trying to add
helicopters
crafting, and there's fishing, and there's this, and there's that, and there's all these different types of rifles. I think they're. I mean, look, what are they going to do, right? Like the thinking is we need to have every game needs to have more, which is not true, but that's the way a lot of reviewers approach this sort of thing. What's different in this? What's new in this?
I think what bothered me in the
And
end
that's
was
where a lot of bloat
was
comes
like we ended up just like this game turned into get in a helicopter, fly, get shot down if there was like an AA gun, find the AA gun,
Mhm.
kill that, fly. And it just became like really repetitive. So I see. I know what you're saying, Stu. Like, oh, Ubisoft's a sort of just like a copy and paste format, but like even the method of doing it, you could argue like the method in Assassin's Creed or the previous Far Cry games is quite fun, but the method of doing it, just getting into a helicopter, they give you a helicopter so early, you just like get in and you're done. It just became really boring after a while. So I don't
See,
know.
I don't even like getting in helicopters in general, so I'm still on foot and.
Well, Marsh always
finding
gets
it a lot of fun.
any chance Marsh finds a helicopter, he just
Maybe
gets
you're
one.
playing with the wrong person, Chinny. Is that possible?
I don't know how to tell him this.
Yeah. After all these years, can you? Do you feel
Yeah.
you can?
I haven't played a game with Marshy for. I mean, Helldivers 2 was the last thing I played with him, and we didn't play that for very long.
Mind you, that's not that long ago. I suppose,
I know,
is
but
it?
it's like, it's very, very few and far between I play with him anymore because he plays at a very, very different time than I'm available. So,
Sure.
you know, with
And
the
let's
back-
let's be honest, your availability is very slim.
and
mate.
his is as well because of he's got two
Mm.
young ones as well. So, yeah, it's very, very difficult. So maybe
Word.
another 10 years.
Can I ask? I'll tell you what, the security at these encampments is shit, innit? I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's got a damaged fence.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Well, but you're lucky they do because, you know, I don't know if y'all played Wild. I know Chinny played Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands. There were military bases in that game surrounded by fence, and you don't have fence cutters, bolt cutters or anything. So you have to walk around the entire goddamn base in order to find a spot that's you can go through. Whereas, yeah, it's a little ridiculous to think that a dictatorship would have such shitty fencing. But on the other
Yeah,
hand,
it
I'm
does.
grateful for it. It's also ridiculous to think you'd have a crocodile as a friend that's helping you attack the dictatorship. So I didn't come here for the realism.
I can kind of believe that more than the dodgy fences, if I'm being honest.
Did you know? You know how every Far Cry game since 3 has a short ending. Remember this? Whereas,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I,
where you
I-
can
I
almost
tried to
feel
keep
it.
my eyes out for it.
Yeah, where
Yeah,
you could finish
so-
it almost instantly.
So you've missed it, Duke. By the way, you've missed it.
I
So
have. I was-
yeah.
I was sure.
So I think you start off on a
What
boat.
was it?
I think in this game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah.
basically, if you sail the other way and say like, we just won't go to that island, and we just go the other, like when you get off the first island, I think if you just go,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
go a different
Oh, I
direction.
just passed it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So if you go a different
Because
direction,
you
then-
basically right. You start the game wanting to go to Florida instead of joining the resistance.
yeah.
But soon afterwards,
Shit happens.
she joins the rebels only in order to get off the island, and so the rebels are like, help us with this mission, and we'll give you your opportunity to go to the U.S. And she ridicules you, and they talk about like, oh, you're going to be working some crap job until you can open a mechanic shop. Like that seems like a great use of your time. Meanwhile, there's a dictatorship here killing people and so she's kind of guilting you into that. Anyway, the point is that the rebel leader is like, look, you helped us out with our first step of the revolution. We keep our word. Here's a boat. You can go to the U.S. in this boat if you want. And I guess that was the moment I thought about it, but I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to
That is-
stop playing the game. I'm
That
liking
is the
game.
moment you can
Yeah,
hit
it's the moment.
credits. You know what? I
Yeah.
wish I would have done that now.
See,
Oh,
I'm not
that's that
hating
game
it so
finished.
far. I'm really enjoying this. I have a good time with it. I'm getting different scopes. I'm sniping people. I'm looking forward to getting better weapons. I got a shotgun that sets people on fire, which is like, yeah. But the problem with that is you shoot them, they get on fire, but they're not dead, which you would think a shotgun blast to the face with incendiary bullets. I think that might kill somebody. This person,
It would sting a little, I think.
Yeah,
I guess
just
so.
smart a little bit.
And then they come staggering toward you, and you have to go run away to not get on fire yourself. So that's just the annoying thing about the shotgun that shoots fire. But on the other hand,
I was disappointed that you can ride a horse, but you don't have helicopter horses in this game.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think that
get
would
on the
be cool.
helicopter horse, or jump from the helicopter onto a horse, or take a helicopter down with a horse. That would.
Or
be awesome.
maybe the horse could just spin its tail really, really fast.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, that's the kind of creativity that Ubisoft need in their games these days.
It is.
That's right.
It is.
Well, they did Blood Dragon, which is one of the greatest. It was a DLC.
Oh, God, that was crazy,
It was a DLC.
wasn't it?
That was amazing. That was a really creative. I mean, they haven't been able to come close since that.
They've tried.
But that we should always give them credit for that.
I
Yeah,
think
mean,
DLC packs like Alan Wake 2, what Stu's playing, have that Blood Dragon thing to thank, to be honest, because I don't think,
because
Oh, yeah,
I don't
sure,
think we would
totally.
have
crazy.
Yeah,
Batshit
Yeah.
crazy.
You don't have to do something that's actually related to the story, yo.
Well,
Be
I mean, the Alan
creative,
Wake
have
2,
fun
to
with
be
it.
fair,
No, I know.
kind
It's
of
not that
is,
it's not.
but
I
it's still
know, I'm
batshit
just-
crazy.
Right. Go nuts, people. Let your imagination
Yeah.
run wild. So one thing that bugs me about Far Cry 6 right now is that you can holster your weapon. I eventually remapped this control, so it's not a problem. But the way you're supposed to do it in general, the way you start out doing it is you pull up the weapon wheel and then you pull to the right, left, up, down, whatever. But unlike a lot of games, you can overshoot the spot. So like if you pull it up and then push to the right, but you push it too far to the right, then it doesn't register that you're trying to holster your gun, which is really important because sometimes, you want to pick a different weapon. And if you're overshooting it just seems silly, right? When the gun selection thing is up, it should, you shouldn't be able to overshoot it. You should just, however far you pull and let go, that's going to be what you choose. So it's a minor UI issue, but it is kind of annoying. So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
But apart from that, I'm actually having a good time with it. I've had a little bit of stuttering because I guess my PC is getting a little older now, but generally speaking, it plays very well. I'm having a good time, and it's hard. Like, I think what happens is I get used to how strong my character is at the end of a Far Cry game, and then you start the next one fresh and much weaker, and it's just like I can run into. No, you can't. Keep running to. And there's a lot of hiding involved in the early stages and whatnot. So, yeah.
Okay, in the chat we've got Mark Allport. He says, "Howdy, Hardly Dancers, evening gents," and Soul Brother #1 says, "What's good, y'all?"
What's good, y'all? You being here is good. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
I assume that's all in the Twitch chat because I'm not seeing. Oh no, here we go.
No,
I
that's on
see it.
YouTube. YouTube.
Yeah. I had it in the wrong moment.
I think we should leave Uncharted 4 last, Stu, because it's the only
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
I've
no,
played.
that's
So
fine
you
with
carry
me.
on with whatever cack you've been playing.
So I finished the game. I finished the game.
It was the game you had almost finished last week, yes?
I had. It was actually slightly longer than anticipated. It took probably about another couple of hours, probably another 2 hours to get to the end.
Okay.
But that game is still wakes the deep, and I would have said, I'm going to say it right now. I think at this point it's probably in my top 3 for this
It's a
year.
contender.
Wow, that's
It's a
intense.
contender. I think the pacing was perfect. I like the story. I think hands down, it's probably got to be in my top 3 all time for dialogue.
Oh.
And voice acting. I just think it's just bang on. It's so spot on.
Don't lose your fucking head, Gibbo.
Don't lose your fucking head. I think.
Don't bother.
And the characters. I think just the characters are great. And they're all quite distinctive, and I like that. Like as soon as I started talking on the phone to I knew instantly who it was. And I don't think there's many games that are good at that. Without actually visually seeing them. I think they were really distinctively done. That's a really weird way of saying it, but that's the best way I
That
can
sentence was
describe it.
very distinctively done.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It was great, was it? And what I also think they do a really good job of, because ultimately you're just on an oil rig.
Yeah.
So it's not the biggest map in the world, not the biggest area. and you do revisit areas, but they do it in such a way that it feels fresh and different each time you go.
Because there's
there.
brains all over the wall now.
Well, not necessarily that, but just the way you navigate your way through it has changed because shit's gone
sure.
down. And I think they did such a great, like the design, the sound design is amazing, the graphics look great, the dialogue is great, and I think there's enough gameplay as well because it is a kind of was kind of interesting. At the end of the game, I got an achievement called Walking Simulator. And it was because I can't remember what it was. I just walked for 10 minutes without doing anything, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Can you imagine if if this game company made a game where you just walk around and don't do anything? That
know.
would be ridiculous.
So that was kind of cool, and I think that was kind of a bit like
They should call it the Dear Esther achievement. Yeah.
no, but I like that because it's like poking fun at themselves. You know what I mean? Because like, hey, we did a game where you actually do stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is a revolutionary change for them.
Where we do stuff. And they did it well. I mean, the puzzles weren't groundbreaking and they weren't, I mean, most of the time the puzzles were just getting to where you needed to go.
Yeah.
But they did such a great job of it. I mean, there's some underwater sections that felt so claustrophobic. You know, I'm very disorientating as well. I mean, there's still, you know, there's moments where shit goes down and you just you don't know which way's up or down. And I like that. Yeah. There were some minor frustrations. There was a section where you had to pull yourself along, and it didn't always work properly. The prompt didn't come up properly, and it was like kind of a semi-quick time event.
There were a few of those. I remember there was something that you had climbing up something, and it was like left click, right click, right click.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm not too bad about them. This one in particular, though, you had to grab onto a piece of the wreckage or whatever, and then press A when the A button prompt came up, and then it would propel you along faster. You know, so obviously you're much less likely to drown. But it just didn't. It just didn't always work properly. It didn't come up, or the prompt didn't appear. So a couple of times I drowned, and I was like, it wasn't really my fault. So I was a bit miffed at that.
Did you get the achievement for falling in the sea?
No, in 5 different places, but I did get a weird. I got quite a few weird
negative achievements.
Yeah, weird achievements. Let me just say, I can actually have a look, can't I? I can see.
One thing that
this
while you're
is
doing that,
real-time achievement
while
hunting.
you're doing that, Stu, it did remind me of like old school Tomb Raider. This game, because like in old school Tomb Raider, you have to hold a button for it to hold on, and there's a bit of that on this game as well. Like if you hold a button.
that.
Oh yeah. If you didn't hold on, you fell off. So there was. I don't know whether I can see them on here for some reason.
Just hold on for one more day.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, anyway, that all being said.
Oh no, we got another copyright strike.
Who was on the video?
156.34.
Oh, here we go. No, I have got them. Here we go. Walking Simulator. Completed the game without sprinting. That was it. Without sprinting for more than 10 minutes.
Oh,
so that's
I
how
thought
you got
complete the game without sprinting. I'm like, what?
Yeah. No, so
you completed it without sprinting for more than 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, without sprinting for more than 10 minutes. So I didn't sprint a lot, I guess.
I guess not.
Yeah, I completed the game. Hardest things.
I would not have gotten that achievement. Let me just tell you right now. I am trying to run.
Yeah, run away constantly. I'll tell you what I didn't do a lot of either. Hide in lockers. There's a lot of lockers.
Yeah, I would hope not. As soon as I saw hide in locker, I was like, fuck.
That's what put me off the game. As soon as I saw a hide in locker, I was like, nope, nope. This is not the game for me.
I don't blame you. So anyway, Stu, any other achievements to report?
I'm trying to look what rare ones I've got. This one's the rarest I've got, I think.
Because this was Chinese room, not rare.
Rare. I see what you did there. I've unlocked a lot of achievements. Oh, here we go.
Read about them,
Read them all out.
All right, sorry. Yeah, most of these just happen as you play the game, but this one didn't. This only 7% of people have got this achievement.
Oh, Stu is in the 90. He's better than 93% of the players.
If it's under 5%, Phil Spencer comes to your house.
Yeah, 7%, and it's called Greased Scotsman. Greased Scotsman.
Oh, is that a Simpsons?
Oh, dude, that's a Simpsons reference.
Oh, there you go. Greased Scotsman. But it's sprinting all
same bike coming in.
And traversals.
Yeah. What was it, Duke? Stu, what was it?
No,
Stu, what was it? What was the achievement?
Stu.
It was sprinting all movement modes and traversals. So that's what that one was. That was the
Yeah.
rarest one I got.
Have you got
Well,
this?
there you go.
Just to give you
It's
some
almost ready here.
idea-
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got it. Okay, sorry. Hang on a second. It's YouTube isn't an instant type of thing. There we go.
There's nary an animal alive that can outrun a grease Scotsman. No.
There you go. I like that.
There you go.
But the still waits the deep achievement, which is for completing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Only 19% of players have done that. It's only 20% or so of people.
I think anything under 20%, Phil Spencer sends you a love letter.
I know, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I mean, 20%
Get
of
down
people
with Phil.
that have completed the game.
Yes.
So there you go. But yeah, overall, I would give it a massive thumbs up. And those people who haven't completed it, you need to fucking get your finger around it.
Also, I just saw that
Yeah.
anybody that does complete the game, you get to go to Scotland with Phil Spencer in a little yurt.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Mm.
I think we should definitely do that. I
He's
like
very
that
committed to his fans. Phil now, Nick Spencer. Loves them.
idea. Phil, no, next Spencer.
Mm.
So there you go. The Still Waits to Deep.
Yeah.
Big recommendation. I really enjoyed it. I
Top
thought it
three
was
how many-
of the year.
very well
That's-
done.
Stuart,
Potentially.
Stuart,
There's big games. to
how
come yet.
many? What you say next? How you answer this question will decide whether I play it more or not. Ready?
Okay. Yep.
Lot of pressure on you here. Okay.
All right.
Phil Spencer's behind you, going, "Go on, convince him to play it. Go on." Right. How many times are you in a room with a thing and you have to run
Yeah.
or hide from it?
I would say, right, if I'm going to be totally honest, for the whole game, I would say,
Phil's looking at you.
thinking about it, probably four, I would say, four
Four.
times during the
Okay.
full game, which is about 6 hours.
Okay.
So about 4 times this year. One of the, I'll be honest, I'm not going to hold back here. The last one, I fucking hated it.
Okay.
The last one, but I got through it. But I didn't hate it because it
You'll
was
get
really,
through it, Chinny.
It was really difficult. I hated it because
How it made you feel.
yeah, it's just creepy as fuck. Even I was a bit like, oh shit,
Yeah.
Oh shit.
when it was chasing me.
It made you,
So,
you made your bum hairs tingle.
yeah, it did. It did. I had a moment of bum hair tingling.
Too nerve wracking.
Yeah, there you go.
Nervous.
Yeah, yeah, and rectum twitch.
Turn it off. Turn the damn thing off.
So yeah, there was a little bit of that.
Good.
It's not the scariest game I played, but they did a good job
Yeah.
of certain areas. Yeah, for sure.
It didn't make your nipples cry, but it made your bum hair twingle.
It did. It did, and my rectum twitch.
Good. Okay.
there you
Right.
go.
Fair enough. Those are my
but yeah.
measurements.
There you go. Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Is that good enough? Are you going to play it?
No. Phil Spencer's looking at you in an angry way now. He's like, "Arr, you didn't convince him to play more Xbox."
I know. I didn't do it. I tried so hard.
Right.
Tried so hard.
Duke,
That's
I think,
right.
Duke, I think you're up because you got more.
Yeah, back
stuff.
to you,
Yes, I'm up. There's speaking.
I don't know-
we
I
talked
don't know why that
about
made me
a
laugh.
bad developer. Let's talk about a good developer named Zachtronics. Y'all know Zachtronics?
No.
Oh yes,
Named
yes,
after its
no.
founder, Zach Tronic.
Yeah.
Right.
Zach
His last name is
Is it,
Tronic.
and
Yeah.
these are guys who made Eliza. This is a guy who made Eliza.
They made Eliza. They
love
made
Eliza.
Opus Magnum. They made Shenzhen IO. They made a lot of games.
Yeah, you love
And
most
one of the things
them.
they do-
You love most of
I
them,
do
though.
love a lot of them. One of the things that they do is they sneak in a solitaire game in a lot of their games. So there's one in Eliza. There's one in Opus Magnum or whatever it's called. There's one in Shenzhen IO. And what they did was they collected all of those solitaire games and put them out as their standalone called the Zachtronics Solitaire Collection.
Nice.
How about that?
How about that?
So, like a lot of people, I've played solitaire over the years, largely as a free game that comes with a PC or, you know, on the Apple or whatever, right? You know, early phones. Okay, hey, look, you can play a game. It's solitaire. Everyone knows solitaire, or at least it's easy for people to learn.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
Zachtronics doesn't do things like that.
Right.
Zachtronics says, oh, you know how to play solitaire? Fuck you. Here's a version of solitaire where when you and there's lots of different variants of solitaire. So the one that most of us are used to is known as Klondike, but there's also one called Golf, which is my favorite solitaire game. Anyway, these games there's a lot of different versions of games in here. So I think there's 8 total. I think 4 of them are versions of Klondike, which is you have stacks of cards laid out at random, and they're in sort of like sheets, and you have to put the lower rank card on top of the higher rank card, right? So in standard Klondike, you have to alternate colors.
Black, red, yeah.
Right. That's the standard approach to Klondike. You put a red 6 on a black 7. And then you can move them around, and you have to, eventually you have foundations where you put the cards starting with ace and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to king. These games have weird variations on that. So it's like and it may be based on real versions of Solitaire, but it seems like they just screwed around with some of them. In some of them, it's like, okay, when you get, first of all, some of them are like based on Russian decks of cards. So it's it's not Jack, King, Queen, Ace. It's DKTV. And I don't know what the fuck those stand for. Czar maybe is T. I don't know,
It stands for Donkey Kong Television.
There you go.
It is probably what it stands for. But it's a whole new rule set and a whole new. I mean, it's like 10 through 6, I think, are the numbered cards on one of them. Anyway, so there's one that's like, they said in the little, when you choose which game you're going to play, they have a little overview, and it's like, here's why we developed this one, because it seemed like something you would find when you were hacking a Russian government server or whatever. The one from Eliza we're looking at on the screen now, it's got kind of a Japanese feel to it, and that makes sense because one of the characters in Eliza is influenced by Japanese culture and stuff. So they're very interesting thematically. This one is one of my least favorites that we're looking at now from Eliza. One of my favorites of the Klondike varieties is the one we're looking at now, which is like a green background, and it's based on the Mahjong tiles.
Oh, okay.
And there's 3 colors on the table. So that's very interesting, because if you have a green 6, you could put a black 5 or a red 5 on the green 6. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, what the hell is going on?
But then there's also these, the cards with the Mahjong tiles. Well, I mean, they're all Mahjong tiles, but the ones with like the Red Dragon, or I don't know what they're called. I just know the ones called the Red Dragon. And I know that from the movie with the serial killer.
On the book by Thomas Harris.
You can, and they're based on the book by Thomas Harris. Yeah, exactly. So at some point you can like collapse, if you have all 4 of the red dragons showing on the table, you can collapse them into a deck, and that's part of how you win the game, is to collapse those, right? So it just adds another wrinkle into the Solitaire process. You know what I mean? It's very interesting.
I play Solitaire almost every day on my phone. I just
do you?
I do, yeah.
It's a fun little game.
I love it.
And you know what I realized, starting with this and then going to other, and I got some more in this collection I need to talk about. You can win a game of Solitaire, which is something that a lot of video games.
You can eventually, can't you?
Well, right. Sometimes you don't always win, but that's the thing.
Always, but you can.
You don't win Skyrim.
No.
You don't win Far Cry 6.
Well,
you don't even win Stowaways the Deep.
If you complete...
No, you finish the game. That's not winning.
This is a game, isn't it, though? It's a game.
This is a game you can win. And I just started thinking about how, I think that's one reason why I love Rocket League, because you can win a game of Rocket League, but you're not guaranteed a victory. You know what I mean? You can, to the extent you can win Skyrim, yeah, you can kill Alduin or whatever, right? But that's not really winning. That's just finishing a process. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think it's interesting.
It's funny when someone says I beat the game or I beat, because you don't.
Well, yeah.
You just
right.
Just
I mean, you finished the main storyline or whatever. Yeah. Right. Exactly. So anyway, let me finish talking about these Solitaire things. The one from Opus Magnum or whatever it's called, Sigmar's Garden, and it's a very interesting. It's not card based at all. In fact, it's based on little marbles, and you're trying to pair them up, and it's very chill. I really like it. I played it a lot when I was playing the actual Opus Magnum game, but yeah, so that wasn't new to me. And when I first got this, I was like, ooh, I want to try all these different things out. And I had played that one a bunch, so I was like, okay. And I wanted to get a win in each of them, so I knew that I was better than the computer, right? Or better than fate, randomness, whatever. Cribbage Solitaire, I had never played. Have y'all ever played Cribbage Solitaire?
I've played Cribbage, but I've never played Cribbage.
My dad
Solitaire.
was a big crib.
Oh, I love Cribbage. Like when I was a kid, I used to play with my dad, and I always used to laugh when you got one for his knob. You know what I mean? there you go.
So I've never played cribbage, so I don't know if cribbage solitaire. It looks like it's based on a real game called cribbage solitaire, but I don't know. The point is that in this game, and this is not what we're looking at. I have no idea what we're looking at
I don't
here
know
that
what this
Chinny's put up. But anyway, the cribbage solitaire has the board with the peg on it.
I got it.
So you get a certain number of points if you make stacks of cards, and you have 4 rows of them, and you're choosing which ones to put together, and they all have planes on them for whatever reason. There it is. And so you get a certain number of points if you start off with a jack. You get a certain number of points if you hit exactly 15. You get a certain number of points if you get exactly 31, and then you get a certain number of points if you get like 3 of a kind or a run of 3 cards in a row.
How cribbage
Is
works.
that how regular cribbage works?
Yeah, that's how
Okay.
regular
So-
cribbage works. Yeah.
Great. So it's a solitaire version of that. I found it oddly compelling. Like, this is the one I've probably played the most, just because I'm new to the idea of cribbage. So, it's an interesting change of
See,
pace from the usual
cribbage,
solitaire thing.
with a proper cribbage board, you have 2 tracks on it, and obviously you play against each other, and it's the first to get to the end of the track wins.
I used
And
to
then, yes,
like.
again, you score points. For
I used to
hands.
like watching my dad play this in the club because I used to like to move the little matchstick. That
Yeah,
was
we
in the-
move the
little
pegs along the cribbage board.
Yeah. It's cool. So that's fun.
yeah.
And then there's the last one.
Which
Uh-oh.
It
is
looks like it comes from like ancient Persia or something. It's called Fortune's Foundation.
Oh.
It's the hardest goddamn solitaire game you will ever play. I am proud to say I have beaten it twice. So
Wow.
go me.
Go
I am
you.
learning some of the things involved in beating it. It's got like a maroon background. It takes a regular deck of cards and it combines it with a tarot deck.
Ah, okay.
You can move one card at a time. The instructions say you will get stuck early and often. It is very difficult to beat this. And it is. I was actually texting Jacinta when I played it the first time, and I was just like, this game is driving me bananas, but I can't stop playing. And I just kept that. After like an hour, I finally beat it, and I was like, yeah! It was a very good feeling.
Good. I mean, it obviously like grabbed you in, didn't it? It made you want to
It
play
did, and it's the right, and it's the thing of like, I mean, I don't really get people who play Elden Ring and Dark Souls, but obviously it's that thing of like the harder the game, the more satisfying it is when you beat it, right?
Yeah.
So, this was a really satisfying moment when I beat it, and it has this thing where, depending on when you, so there's 21 or 22 tarot cards apparently. I don't know anything about tarot, but somebody out there might know. Write us in, tell us about the tarot decks. Anyway, so the last one you put down to finish the game, it gives you a fortune based on that tarot card, right? So I got one that said something like, it was the Magician, I think, and the fortune was something like, you can turn your imagination into reality, just make a plan and have fun doing it, or something like that. And I was like, you know what, I just finished designing this book that I wrote, so in a way you're right, video game, I do have the power to turn my imagination into reality. What now?
Yeah. So I was just going to say earlier, so what you're saying is this is kind of the Souls-like of solitaire games.
It kind of is. It's funny because when I was having trouble with it. And I was just like, okay, I wonder on the Steam discussions, is there anything about this particular solitaire game? Because this is something they made new for this collection, right? It was never so it's a very new game. And the discussion that I found was like, what do I do? How do I beat this? I am just losing over and over and over. And people were like, well, here's one strategy that I found useful. And another person was like, no, do it like this. And people aren't being toxic. There's nobody like, you suck, get good. Instead, it's like, it's hard to explain how I won. Like, I did this and that, and you should make sure you do this. So one of the things that you have to do, first of all, you can't move a stack of cards, right? In every solitaire game, you can move a stack of cards. I mean, every Klondike version. Which this is like, you can move a stack of cards. You cannot move a stack of cards here, but you can put them, it does have to be the same suit. So if you have like goblets, that one of the suits is red goblets. If you have, a 4 and a 5 of the goblets, you have to, you can't put a 4 of goblets on a 5 of swords, right? But you can go up or down if it's the same suit, right? So if you have a 5, 6, 7, and then there's a 4 over on the other side of the board, you can't just pick up the 5 and put it on a 4, but they say you should always keep that middle spot open so that you can flip the order they're in, right? In other words, you pick up the 7, you put it in the middle spot, you pick up the 6, you put that in the middle spot, you pick up the 5, you put that in the middle spot, you pick up the 4, and then you put that on top. You know what I mean? So it's this process of like inverting the cards and playing the board in a way that goes beyond just moving cards around. So it requires a lot of thinking ahead. It's tough. I've won it maybe twice. It's hard as hell, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay. It does look interesting. I mean, I don't play a lot of solitaire, but I have played obviously in the past, but it's probably a while. It's a while since I played solitaire.
I've never thought of myself as somebody who plays a lot of solitaire, and I was just mostly got this because I was curious. I know that Zachtronics makes good games, and I knew it wasn't going to be something, you know, a lot of their games are like, okay, you're going to learn how to hack a mainframe. And it's not just like click a button to hack. It's you are writing code, right? There are some games that are actually like that. And other games that are like, you're going to set these little bots in motion and they can only move in certain ways and whatnot. You know, their games can be very technical sometimes. So I was just like, whatever, I know they make good games and this doesn't seem too technical, so I'll give it a shot. But the thing that happened after I played a bunch of it was I was like, you know what? I can find a solitaire game for my phone. And I remember I had some friends who were crazy into Free Cell and I never tried that. So let me try Free Cell. Okay. Have you all played Free Cell? Is that a solitaire game? You know?
No.
Yeah. So it's basically like Klondike, but you have these 4 open spots at the top of the board and you can move things around in those open spots, which just gives you more leeway. And the cards are all face up when you start, I think. So, you know, Klondike, you have a deck of cards and you deal out some of them from time to time. This is not like that. Anyway, it's interesting. And I was like, you know what? These ads are annoying as hell. I'm enjoying the game. It's pretty well made. Why don't I buy it and give them a little bit of money for their fine efforts, and then I won't have to look at ads, right? No, that's not how it works. I was ready to give them like $3. They don't want $3. They want $2 a month.
Whoa.
This fucking solitaire game on your phone, they're trying to make it a service you subscribe to. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Are you joking? That's
No.
mental.
I was like, are you out of your... You made a little solitaire game. This is ridiculous. I'll tell you what. Here's what I will give you.
F yourself.
How about that? There's your subscription money. Unbelievable. And like, apparently this is a business model that works.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you remember when games first came out on the phone, like you download it and then, you know, maybe there's a demo, maybe not. But if you wanted to play it, you gave them $5 and you had the game, right? And then came some free things and it was like, okay, cool. If you like it, you can buy the full thing or whatever. Okay, maybe this one has ads. Now, as you may know, the ads are just bonkers. It's like pulling up your app store by itself and it's like, just click here to download. But no, I want to close this, close this, close this. It's very frustrating. So
35
if
quid
somebody
a
knows
year.
about a Free Cell game, I can just buy. Yeah, if somebody knows about a Free Cell game, I can just buy for $2 or $3. I'd be very happy to do, because it's not, I can't imagine it's a hard game to program. You know what I mean? This one has.
So you can't find a free solitaire game on your phone. Is that what you're saying?
It's
I didn't
Free
go
Cell.
looking very hard. I mean, I had a free. It is a free version of Free Cell, and like I said, it's pretty well made. It's just that the ads are bonkers, and the fact that they're asking for a subscription price is just insane. So I don't know. I'll keep looking. You know, part of me is too lazy. I'll just play this one instead and just X out the ads. It's not a big deal, but I like to complain. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
There's that.
do.
Yeah, I do.
Well, that's what you get.
What
for
can I
free.
say?
What you get for free.
Yeah. What can I say? I'm a loudmouth.
I am a loud mouth. Like it or not, I am never gonna pipe down.
Right, okay. At that juncture, shall we do humanity then?
I think we should do the play my game, a bitch.
Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch!
Chinny is a little punk because he didn't play the game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
I'm busy. I'm trying.
Yeah, bitch!
We all have young children to do. Oh wait, Stu and I don't. Anyway,
No, not
humanity.
anymore.
What kind of game is this, Stu?
It's a puzzle game, like a bit like Lemmings
is.
to an extent, but not like Lemmings
Yeah.
either.
A 3D Lemmings, if you will.
It will, but also there's no limit to how many humans you can kill before you complete
That's
the level.
true. And you
Yeah.
kill a lot. I kill a
Oh
lot. when I'm
yeah,
playing
I
these
did,
levels.
I did.
Yes.
It took. I'll start this off by saying it took me a little bit of time to get my head around how to play it.
The mechanics seem okay. There's like a meta story with a
Yes.
dog.
You're being
And
directed.
That's why do we need a meta? Just give me a level and let me move the people with putting a thing here and a thing here. Why is there a dog and I got to control the dog? And that just
Well,
felt silly.
they wanted to make it like a platformer with puzzle elements, so they wanted to have this sort of puzzle platformer in a way. I'll be honest,
Pick a lane game.
Once I got my head around what I was supposed to do, and once I realized to plan ahead, get ahead of them, and then put all your markers down in advance. So what I found myself doing, the more I played it, the more I spent probably a good 3, 4, 5 minutes looking at the level before I began it.
See, that's dedication, man. I wasn't trying to do any of that shit. I'd just be like, all right, let's dive in and start moving. Oh shit, they went over the wrong.
No, I was like, right, what do I need to do in this level to get all the gold men? What route do I need to take? Which way did I need to go? Which bits can they climb up?
Right. You have to be careful and move quickly if you want to save all the gold dudes. So for those who don't know, this game has a whole bunch of regular humans just flooding out of this door of light, and they'll go anywhere you tell them to, and they'll die if they fall off of more than 3 blocks and all this stuff. But it doesn't matter. There's an infinite number of them coming, so you can let all of them die if you want. But there's also these gold guys that once the regular people walk past one of the gold dudes, they go, "Oh, I will go the way these people are going." But if they fall off, that's it. You can't get, you have to start over. So there's pressure if you're trying to get the gold dudes.
Oh yeah, I mean, I really, once I got my head around what I was supposed to be doing, I really liked it, and I like how they just drip feed you new powers. So you obviously start off with just the turn, then you get a mini jump, then you get a large jump, then you get crowd surf. The crowd surf one was cool. That. So crowd surf, basically, when they start...
Oh, no, I know you're talking about. You zip up, zip over. Like
so when they're walking up a wall, you can zip along on top of them.
Right.
And you turn into a dude. You turn into a dude yourself, which was cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But I've played all of the prologue, finished all of that, and I've played probably the first 2 or 3 of the main levels once they start going. And I really like it. And I like what they also did in so much as, like, some of them, when you get further in, some of the arrows are already placed on the level for you, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. You just have to think about what you need to do, and I like that.
Yeah,
that it's not too fiddly. It reminded me a lot of Monument Valley in its presentation, the music.
It does have a little ethereal sense of things like that. Yes, it's faded, subdued colors and things like that, but also a sense of statue monument areas and Sure.
And also, I was like, "Are you sending them to heaven?" And then did you get to the end?
Well, you're gonna have to play the whole story to find out.
Did you get to the end of the prologue?
I did, because then you go up to the next level as the dog.
And then you see all the little people, I guess, where they're going, which wasn't heaven, or it didn't appear to be heaven to me.
Well, who knows what it is? It's probably some land of dreams.
Yeah, but I loved it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think I was so annoyed by the dog mechanic, and I just wanted to be able to, and I know it's a little trickier to move around if you don't have an avatar for your character, but I felt like it would have been more fluid and less stressful to get the gold dudes if I could have just like moved the cursor more quickly and been like, okay, here you're going to turn right, here you're going to go, jump or whatever. That said, it's very well made. It has a lot of, interesting aesthetic elements to it in terms of the characters moving, and the sound I thought was pretty good, and it was very satisfying when you get enough of you can't just have one human step on the spot to the finish line. You have to get enough of them, right? And so it fills up a little bit, and then it turns aqua or whatever, and the gold, they call them goldies because they're really good drum and bass producers.
Exactly.
They when you rescue all the goldies, you get a special award and all that.
Well, they don't. Well, rescuing the goldies unlocks more like powers and stuff for you, which is kind of cool.
Right.
So there's a point.
And at one point, it's true. And there was one where,
can I just say, this person playing it is terrible at it.
Terrible.
Yes,
they're fucking horrendous at this game.
Yeah. There was one that had like sloping ramps for the people that you had to get them to jump on one, and then there was a button at the top of it all, and I finished the whole level, and I was like, okay, great. Wait, where are the goldies? And then I realized there was a button on top of it, so you have to get them to jump over the first. Yeah, you have to get them to jump over.
To get to the very top.
There's a little hole that they're gonna jump into if you do a regular jump. If you do a high jump, they'll jump onto the ramp over that hole, and then as soon as they land on that, you have to get them to jump again, and then they'll land on the button, and that reveals the goldies.
You know, so I looked at that for ages trying to figure out how you got to the button. Spent ages and I couldn't figure it out. I like that.
But tell us more about how the person on the screen that we're watching is terrible at this game, though.
Oh, I mean, this guy's taken forever just to figure out how to get the goldies, hasn't he?
Yeah,
you know
at least
what I mean?
he probably figured it out eventually, unlike some people.
Well, maybe. Maybe you figured out how to get one I didn't get. I was very upset that I couldn't figure. I'm like, I can't figure out how do you do it? How do you do it?
It happens. It's all good. So I mean, you know, I appreciate it for what it is. It so happens that I've been playing a game that's kind of like this that I actually enjoyed more, even though it's not nearly as aesthetically pleasing as this one.
Yeah.
So I would give it a thumbs up if you like the kind of game that is a puzzle and you don't mind one annoying mechanic, being a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this, and I liked as well. Once if you know you've fucked it up, you can just restart again really quickly.
You can. That's right. And the good thing about that is that in a puzzle game like this, the last thing you want is to be a delay between when you mess up and when you get to start over. You know what I mean? Super Meat Boy, you just die, start over, die, start over, die. You know, it's just really, really quick. And I recall the Talos Principle being one of those games where I messed up a puzzle and I think I just wanted to start it over, and I had to like go back to the entrance area or reload a save. I was just like, come on, y'all, like let's keep it moving. So
and the other good thing, like one of the first powers you get for getting a Goldie is retry. I think that's the first thing it gives you.
Yep.
So it gives you like,
and you can also fast forward, which is nice because I think I got all the buttons ready, and it's like okay. What you can do, the power it gives you is you can retry, but all of your commands are still in place.
Yes.
Right. So you can go and then like, okay, this one command needs to be different, but you don't have to do the whole thing from scratch. Which is again, right. It shows respect for the player's time, which is really important to me. I really appreciate that. So I give it a thumbs up, even though I didn't play it a whole bunch. I did enjoy it. So yeah, thumbs up for me. Sounds like a thumbs up from Stu.
Big thumbs up from me. I really like it.
And Chinny's got a thumb up his ass.
He didn't even play. He can be arsed.
That's all right. He's going to choose the one for next week, and that way we know he'll play it.
Yeah,
what are we playing next week,
What are we playing next week?
Stick your thumb up your ass.
Okay.
I didn't know that was on Game Pass. I thought I had to buy that on Steam.
Just go on there.
Was it just added today?
Yeah.
All right. Seriously, what are we going to play?
I don't know.
I've got
a
suggestion. No, I've got a suggestion because I think Duke would actually like this because it's a combination game.
What is it?
It's called Robin Hood Sherwood Builders.
I don't think Chinny's going to want to play that, though.
It's a third-person action game with
It's a building game. It's called Building.
Yeah,
no. Robin Hood.
No, when you look at it, it is, but it isn't.
Chinny often complains about crafting stuff, so.
It looks like Assassin's Creed with building.
It does look. It's got combat, and I mean, again, we're getting to that point, man, where like they are finally blending the genres of RPGs and crafting survival games. I'm really happy. So yeah, I'm all in. Let's do Robin Hood Sherwood Builders for next week.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's rob from the rich and give to the little man.
That's right. I want that to be a big part of the game. God damn it! I hate seeing Robin Hood reduced to just another idiot with a bow and arrow. He was a class warrior.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, that's what I think we should.
So what's next?
Do. I think it's the final of Does it?
Does it? Does it?
Does it?
Does it hold up? Does it hold up?
So we said we were going to finish it this week, and we did, Stu.
We did. We both did. I was like, oh, I don't know where I'm going to get this in, but I did it. You did it straight after the show, didn't you?
Yeah, literally, when we stopped recording last week, I was like, right, I ain't going to have time this week to do this, so I'm going to have to do this tonight.
Let's get this over with.
Did it. So where shall we start, Stu?
where did we start? The Avery's Descent, didn't we? That's where we started. Chapter 19
Chapter
is
19.
where we were up to. Yeah, I've not got tons of notes. I must admit, I just got stuck into playing the game and then forgot to take many notes.
No,
so
I got a
I've
note for
some.
chapter 19. You start off in a big cave, and it's the first time that you have to shake the controller to get the battery
Oh god,
working.
yeah, I hated that.
And I don't know if they put that in as a sort of like, remember this? Remember what we used to do?
But they did that as well because it's part of the story. Because I actually the first note I wrote was like the dark section. So I like when because it stops working altogether, doesn't it? So it makes you shake it a few times and then it just stops.
Yeah, but like, but
Doesn't work.
PlayStation games used to be like this, didn't they? They used to make you
Yeah.
shake the controller.
It's like-
all
Yeah,
the
I remember
time.
there was a Ratchet and Clank game that was like you got to hold it and glide.
So,
Like, get the fuck
I
out of
don't-
here! It's a novelty technique and it doesn't need to exist.
I don't know if like the developers was like, hey, remember when we had to
Oh
do
yeah,
this
it was
stupid
it
shit?
was an in joke for
I
sure.
think
It was
so.
a take the
I think
piss.
so,
yeah,
yeah.
it definitely was.
Felt like that. I hated Stu. Hated a section.
What the exploding mummies?
The fucking exploding mummies.
How do you get? I couldn't figure a way.
There's
to
no
not,
way.
There isn't.
No.
There's no way for them not to explode.
I've had
is
a
there?
bad
That
I've had a
must
bad
just
throw all week, and I think I've ruined it because I was starting to feel better, and I think I've just ruined it by going hated. But that's how much I hated it. I wanted to get my
No,
bad
I'm
throat
with
back.
you.
Are there zombie books in this game?
Dude, if you're
no.
gonna ask stupid questions,
Yeah, don't ask at all. Just stay quiet, honestly.
Do you fight any tractors?
No.
I love it when a game or movie says a thing that what I was gonna say or what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a sign of good writing, man.
So Elena says, "I think I found a shortcut," and I
yeah.
said out loud, "How the fuck do you know that?" And then Drake said, "How do you know it's a shortcut?" And I loved it. I was like, "Oh, I love it."
Not
when
quite
that
as good
happens."
as how the fuck do you know it's a shortcut?
No,
So
It's a good line, yeah.
I
It's a good
wrote.
line.
It's so funny that we're on the same.
sounds like we played the same game.
Because I thought found a shortcut could just have easily been stranded at the bottom.
Yeah, but
It's what-
Drake said like
You're
know?
but not only are you playing the same game, you're playing the same game you've both played before and talked about.
No,
I've never
Ginny's
played
never
it.
played it.
I've never
Ginny's
played it before.
Okay,
Never played it.
But there's a good chance that you thought that before, and then it's coming back again
Yeah,
now. but I don't
maybe.
know.
I wrote down a note here, Stu. I think this is definitely the sweatiest Uncharted game we've ever played.
Ooh,
Everybody,
yeah.
sweaty men. Go on.
everybody's sweaty in this game.
Mind you, they are
Everybody.
in a hot.
Alright.
They're in like a really hot.
I know,
country,
but
aren't
they're
they?
all sweaty all the time. They're just
Yeah.
sweaty sweats and dirty as well. You know,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
they're just filth. This game is filth
Ooh.
and sweat.
Can I also say?
Sexy and I know it.
There's loads of bones hanging from the ceiling
There's a lot
on
of
bits
bones.
of string.
Bet
Mhm.
there's bones.
And Drake
Are there
says
pipes?
it's a mobile.
Yes.
I'm like, what the fuck's a mobile? It's a
a-
mobile.
Well, that's
You
how
don't know
they
what
say it.
Oh, mobile.
That's how
no
they
one calls
say
it
it.
a
Yes.
mobile.
Yes.
In America, they
Stu,
do.
you should be correcting people's pronunciation of things. You never say words in a way that is unconventional or
How rude.
non-standard.
Well, like as the American in the room, how do you say
Yes.
the word that begins
Mobile.
with V, but for a car?
Vehicle?
See, there's in some. No, you said it right, but in some Americans they go
Yeah.
vehicle. They put like a
Yeah,
word.
Vehicle
Vehicle.
or vehicle.
Vehicle.
Yeah, Dave Barry had a whole
Vehicle.
thing about
Yeah.
this guy. This vehicle can really get to 60
Yeah,
miles
they
an
put
hour.
like a weird hiccup in the
Yeah.
middle of the word.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
do.
what
Yeah,
are you
vehicle,
doing?
yeah.
Vehicle.
Yeah.
The
There's no
vehicle.
hyphen.
And
is
don't
there?
get me
There's no
started on
hyphen.
controversy and aluminium.
Aluminum.
Aluminum.
Anyway, so you make your way down the cave.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck's a mobile?
You walk down Mobile.
It's
Um,
the theory of the mobile.
so
Twisting the fabric of space.
So you make your way down the cave, then you walk across a big wooden platform, which I quite liked. I like that.
Yeah.
That section. How did you solve that, Stu? Did you have to keep looking in the book?
Yes. Yeah,
'Cause-
for the where you have to cross the floor and you have to you
Yeah.
have to get
So
it
did
in
you have
the
to
right-
like keep opening the book and?
Yeah,
So-
I did that a lot.
I feel like that's the Gen X in you, Stu, because the millennial in me was like, I'm just going to take a picture of this fucking journal and just get it
I
up on my
see what-
phone.
No, but do you know what they do? That's quite clever. And well, you won't know this because you didn't do it. So the first time you have to flip the book open and everything, don't you, to look at it.
Mhm.
When you're on the actual board, though, it just goes instantly to the page.
Yeah, but when you've got it on your phone, You just do this with your
yeah,
eyes. You
yeah. Just
like
turn
that.
it round.
That's it.
Yeah, turn it round so you know which way it's pointing. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
do that. I was trying to look at it upside down and shit.
I like.
And I did
you,
die once, I
you-
think, doing that.
You get a key. Didn't die. You know why? Because it had on my phone. Anyway, you get a key.
Yeah.
And also, doesn't he have a phone? Because he uses it all the time.
Yeah.
Just
No,
take a
she
fucking
well,
picture of it.
she definitely has a smartphone. I'm not sure about him. 'cause he
Also,
has a flip-
use the
he has a flip
torch
phone.
on your smartphone, you stupid bellend.
Yeah.
Right. But they can't hear this though. It's already happened.
No, they
So
can't.
it's
No,
too
they
late
can't.
for me to bollock them about it.
I don't know. I said some things about Last of Us Part 1, and then they did
Yeah.
a different thing
Neil-
in Last of Us Part 2,
for
so
the
it's always
record,
possible
Neil
that Naughty Dog
Druckmann-
is listening in.
Neil Druckmann has read your material, Dick. That is a
Yeah,
fact.
But he changed Last of Us 2 based on what I said about Last of Us 1.
That's where you've
Yeah,
lost
he
me a
did.
bit there. Okay, I did like the bit where you get the key and you open the door and you think, oh, it's going to be a trap, and then you go, nope, nothing, and then you get caught in the net. That's a good bit.
Yeah,
I
and then
love
it's about to. And then you all start blowing up
And
in
then
order,
all the
don't
mummies,
you?
and then
Like,
you run around.
"Shit."
I love that bit. I thought that was great.
I like that. And I'll be honest, at the end, and I've written, for 1 minute, I couldn't remember because it's so long since I played. I'm like, for 1 minute, I thought Elena was injured. I'm like, is she
Yeah.
injured?
She looks like she's dead, doesn't she? But she's
Yeah. And
she's
he's
not.
like, oh no.
You know
And she's
what?
like, I got you.
Stu, the amount of times I've just sort of stepped off a step or a stair or something,
Yeah.
and I've twisted my ankle. I
Yeah,
just want,
seriously injured. It like
I-
injured yourself.
I just want Nathan Drake just to twist his ankle in one
They
game.
don't do anything, did they?
Because
I mean, they fucking
this,
hell. I mean,
this man, I don't know how old he is.
I
but
just
this
need a
man-
minute, just get my
Yeah,
ankle
just
right.
like
give me a second.
I've just, you know what? I've sprained my knee. I'm gonna be out for
Ow,
a
my
week.
balls!
Yeah, it just,
and he lands on top of her. She lands and then he
Yeah.
lands on top of her, kind of. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god, he squashed her. You know what I mean?
yeah. So chapter 20
Um,
starts with I think you reunite with Sam, you reunite with Sully, and then
Yeah.
they
But I
basically
thought Sam was dead.
no, it's
And then
not.
you go,
Oh my
and then they say to Sam, look, let's just not go for
no,
the
no,
gold.
no. Prior to that, there's the really amazing gunfight and truck chase, isn't there? Where you're being chased by all the trucks and stuff through the town.
Oh yeah.
And that was I thought that was a really excellent section of game,
good.
and you have to get the RPG at the end and blow the
Oh,
shit
yeah.
out of
It was
it.
good, tricky.
Yeah, I think when you got that right, it looked amazing. You know, like very cinematic.
Yeah,
Like
but I never
legging
get it right.
all
Every time I think
No,
this,
you
this
die at least
game,
once.
this
You die at
all
least
these
once.
Uncharted games would look so cool if I just got them right first time.
Yeah.
But
you just go
instead, it's just me
straight
just
away.
and that, when every time I fall, they always do that sort of Solid Snake thing of like Nathan. I'm like, God,
Yeah.
they've seen me die so
No.
many times. Because now, what they should have done after when you die like 5 times, they should have gone, oh Nate, you silly Billy,
Are you dead
Yeah.
again,
are
Nate?
you
Come on.
dead
You-
again?
There was a
Bellend.
Reddit thread about this recently. They were talking about what game has the most interesting thing that happens when you die. And a lot of people mentioned Snake. A lot of people mentioned GTA, saying wasted. But Prince of Persia actually had one of the top spots because Sands of Time, you're telling the story as the meta story, right? And so when you die, it just the narrator goes, no, wait, that's not what happens. And it like rewinds the plot, which is a pretty cool way to deal with
that's
someone
cool.
dying.
That's cool.
What about Tomb Raider where she just gets brutally killed every time?
That's gore porn, though, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
And Limbo is the same way. And
Yeah.
it's,
yeah, you just get brutally killed.
yeah,
yeah,
so
so I
anyway,
really enjoyed that.
we catch up
Yeah.
with Sam, we catch up with
Yeah.
Sully, and they say, Sam, look, we're not going to go for the gold. It's over. And Sam, they
done.
convince him, but then they get split up. And Sam then says, I'm going to go for it. I have to see it. You know, it's his legacy.
Do you know, I put down when Sam went, I'd have just been, just fuck him.
Yeah, I mean, just go.
Just let him go. I've
Just-
done enough.
but
Like,
they
fuck him.
don't. They don't. They go
No,
after
they
him.
fucking
it's your
don't.
brother, man.
I'm
And
gonna
then-
save the dickhead.
You get in a situation where Drake then gets split up from Elena and Sully, and then Drake is basically on his own looking for Sam.
Sam, yeah, looking for the treasure ship.
Yeah. There's a section in chapter 21 where Rafe,
Rafe, it is
you
Rafe.
think I'll
It's
get his
pronounced Ray Fine.
Rafe
Rafe.
Fine.
Yeah.
Slaps Nadine. He's got some balls slapping that woman, hasn't he?
Yeah, well,
Jesus
fucking hell.
Christ.
I'm like, he's a dead man. He's
Oh
literally
my
a dead
God.
man.
and then we learn like the soldiers basically don't work for Nadine anymore. They turn their backs on her, and
They work for whoever pays them the
wherever
most
the pays the
cash.
bills. Chapter 21 is very, very short, by the way. You just swim to the boat and it's over. So
Yeah.
there's no
Swim to the boat.
Yeah, swim to the boat. This is the boat. This is where all the treasure is, Stu.
All the finally after all this.
treasure.
Do you know what? Can we just say as well? This
Oh,
Yes. Oh.
Uncharted game where they actually find the treasure.
you,
Where they
you,
find
fro-
treasure.
you froze up there, Stu. Say that last thing again.
So here's what we think you said. This is one of the Uncharted games where you get naked when you find the treasure. Is that what you said?
That's close. No, what I did say
Yeah.
was this is one of the first. Well,
Willie-
it's the first
Willie.
Uncharted game where they actually find the treasure, where they find some treasure.
They find treasure before, don't they?
They've never got away any. They've never got any treasure. He's fucking working in a shipyard.
I know, but like,
Well, maybe he spent it all.
Well, no, I don't think he
I
did. They
guess
never.
so.
They never really get any.
you know,
They never
so
get any treasure.
He had a sick aunt that he had to pay for her operation.
you get on the boat. Rafe's there. Nadine's there. Nadine's like, "See ya, bye," and leaves you to burn or whatever. And
Yeah,
then
fuck you.
you end up in a sword fight with Rafe.
Yeah,
I tell you
boss
what.
fight. Boss fight.
Tell you what,
Oh, God.
Rafe's hair in this scene is fantastic. Fantastic hair.
Yeah.
He looks
well, the hair's
like
fantastic throughout the game.
no.
in my opinion.
I'm talking about his hairstyle, Stu.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
He looks like an anime character. He's beautiful. He's absolutely beautiful in this scene. Love him.
Is he sweating? Is their shirt all wet?
It's just sweat and fire
Yeah, there's
everywhere. It's
definitely a
great.
sweat
yeah.
because the boat's on fire. Sam, we
Okay.
should mention Sam's trapped under a bit of rigging or
And
whatever. so he's-
they tease the fact that like, oh, it looks like he's going to die. He's going to. They
Yeah,
do that
Sam's
quite a
gonna
lot
die.
because this is the last time we're going to play as Nathan Drake. You think somebody's
Yeah.
going to die.
So you think.
Somebody's going to die. Elena's going to die. Drake's going to die. But no, Sam gets saved. So Drake figures
Well,
a very
you
clever way.
You fight Rafe, which I did several times. Can I just say because that was fucking
you
a
die?
pain in the arse. Yeah, a couple of times. I
Oh,
died.
Stu.
I know.
That's what
I
they
know.
said when Nathan dies. Oh, Nate, you got
I know, yeah.
stabbed again.
What happened? What would happen though? I'd be in rhythm, with his left and right, and then he'd do a fucking right,
do a
right,
spin.
or a left,
Yeah,
or
but
a
he do-
spin.
yeah, he does
And
a
I'm like,
spin.
is that right or left when he's spinning? I don't know. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
It's,
And then
yeah.
I'd sort of die again. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's not the best.
Yeah.
And you know what? This was in my. I've got a trivia section for this week because it's the last time we're talking about it.
Ooh.
In the
Okay.
trivia section, in the flashback where you go into the house, Nathan and his brother Sam find swords when they're 15, and that was going to be the tutorial for this, but they cut it out. So
right.
they just figured like. Obviously, this
It's
is so
only
easy.
done once, it's
It's
done once.
obviously so easy. No one's going to struggle on this bit. That's what
Yeah,
they said.
apart from me.
Yeah.
Apart from
But it's
me.
an interesting story background piece.
Yeah, it shows that Nathan can fight with a sword, I guess. But yeah, it's I liked it. I could see Nadine's betrayal of Rafe like a mile away. Like I could see it coming over the horizon. I was like,
because
she's
she just
definitely-
thinks he's a twat, really, doesn't she?
Well,
You know what I mean? She
I hate to
doesn't
break
really
it to you,
like
Stu, but Rafe's a bit of a twat, even though he's got great hair. Right,
Yeah,
and
he's got great
I
hair.
can't emphasise this enough. Rafe's hair is the best hair I've ever seen on a man, and it's made me sexually confused of where I'm going in the future. I don't know what
Frank,
to do
what
about
are
it.
you doing, 30 Rock? What are you doing, Frank, figuring some stuff out? You can't be gay for one guy, Frank. I don't know. Jamie's pretty cute.
Rafe's, I don't know. There was something about and he was sweaty as well, and I was like, oh my god, he looks so great with the sword and the sweat and the hair.
Yeah.
And he's
all
pretty
right, Jimmy.
handy. He's pretty handy with that rapier.
There's this
isn't he?
amazing
Yeah.
new thing called poly. The whole world is opening up for you. It's all good.
Anyway, we all get out. Like that obviously Rafe he dies, doesn't he? It doesn't end very well
Yeah.
for sexy
It
Rafe.
doesn't end well for Rafey boy.
No, a bunch of he dies by doing the stuff that he wanted, which is
Yeah,
get covered
yeah.
and splattered to death
Well, I
with
love
gold.
that. I actually like it. It is a cheesy sort of. I like the cheesy line.
It's a cheese
like,
line. It's an Indiana Jones like.
You want the treasure.
well, go-
Oh, James Bond. You
Yeah,
want
yeah.
the treasure. Well, there's your treasure, and he just.
I would have loved it. I would have loved it if he fucked up the line. Like, if you want your treasure, well, it's gonna be really heavy on. Oh, forget it. I'll just
heavy in a second.
just
man.
cut it. I don't know. I
Wait,
forget.
wait. I got something that's right here. I just got to put it in the right words.
Yeah, and he's
Or
just,
It reminded
he goes,
me-
You want your treasure? He goes, you want your treasure? The treasure's been inside of us all the time.
yeah.
It reminded me a lot of Game of Thrones, and I know that sounds like a weird comparison, right? But there's I mean, you've watched Game of Thrones, Duke. I'm not sure about you.
The
Chin. Have you
things
watched
I
Game
do
of
for
Thrones?
love.
I've watched all of them. Yes.
Yeah. So the bit where he melts down like all the gold and pours it on his head, it's like
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of this is what you wanted. Well, you're gonna get
Hey.
it, but not in the way you
know
thought.
what? I don't think he wanted that, to be honest. I don't think he wanted that.
He did, but he wanted some time
No,
between
like-
when they cast the crown and when they put it on his head.
I think
So
he
it was just a matter of timing.
I really think
it was just a misunderstanding.
I really think Jason Momoa knew what he wanted. I think he got that wrong there. Like, I think he
Yeah.
got that wrong because it would have been
Oh, it's
awful
hard to
after
know.
that scene if Jason Momoa went, "Oh, I don't think that's what it was. Oh no,
Oh shit! I've killed him. Oh
I'm
shit!
so sorry."
Oh,
But it was
boy.
a similar
Whoopsie.
it was a similar parallel.
But I
wasn't
just
it? It was
wanted to-
kind of,
yeah,
you
I
know,
w-
they both got killed by the thing they wanted.
I wish he messed it up. So anyway, we find out that they all get it, and then there's a clever little bit where, okay, we're sort of at the end there. It's night time, and they're sort of saying their goodbyes to each other, and
Yeah.
then Elena goes to shake Sam's hand. Remember this, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Sam says, "Oh, like, you know, don't shake my hand. Like, bring it in. Give me a hug." Do you know why he hugged her?
Was he a stabber?
Because later on we then learn that Elena buys the marina.
Oh, that's
for
right.
Nate.
Yeah, yeah.
And the way she buys it is from the gold from the ship that Sam dropped into the pocket when he hugged her. So he reverse pickpocketed her. He did a Huel from Better Call Saul. Or yes, that's the show, isn't it?
It is.
So when he planted, remember that when Saul's brother, he doesn't like electricity and
Right,
stuff,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he plants the phone on him, and he proves that it's all in his head.
That is all a load of bullshit because
Yes.
nothing happens to it.
That's right. So he reverse pickpockets Elena and puts the stuff on her. So I like that. Nice little touch.
Yeah.
And then we've got the epilogue. Stu.
Epilogue.
There's an
Epilogue.
epilogue. So this I knew nothing about the epilogue in.
Did you know?
No, I didn't know.
Obviously, I knew because I remembered it from the game.
Well,
That's
well
one of the
done,
bits
you,
I
Stu.
didn't
You get a
remember
little
well.
medal.
I know,
Wait,
for
slow
having-
down.
For having a
You played
decent,
this before?
yeah, for having a kind of memory of this.
Memory stuff. So you play Crash
That's
Bandicoot again, and I was like, oh, maybe we're playing it, and it's like them playing it again, and that's the end of the game. And then
Yeah.
and I thought it was young Elena at first. I was like, oh, it's young Elena, and then she picks up the game, and she said it's so retro, and I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
weird. And because it wouldn't be retro for Elena, it'd be modern, wouldn't it? So, and then I started to click, and then you're basically on a lovely beach house, and daughter goes through the old stuff. Parents catch her, and you sort of learn that Sam and Sully are still adventuring because you see
Yeah.
your pictures and stuff.
Mm.
So that, for me, has said, like, that's Naughty Dog's way of saying we're not completely done with Uncharted. We might be done with
It may
Nathan,
be
but
back.
there might be
Yeah.
more stuff to do. And we know they've got the
Oh no,
the
the
DLC.
daughter's definitely interested.
The daughter's interested. You've
Well,
also
that'd be
got
cool. Yeah, Uncharted 5 could be the daughter.
but you've got Sam and Sully that are doing adventures,
And Sam
obviously.
and Sully.
Yeah. So, you know, I just can't fucking work out how old Nathan Drake is because he's.
Well, he
he's-
looks
90?
old. He looks considerably older. In
I
this
know,
scene.
but he doesn't look that. I thought he was like.
He's
How
not- he
old
doesn't
is
look
he?
90.
He's a
And
mystery.
Elena looks older as well.
Yeah, but
which
they've
I
now
think they did a
they've
good
gone
job of it.
from like the end of Uncharted 4 where you get the gold and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
or don't get the gold.
Yeah.
That's like
Well, this is at
this
least she's
daughter
13,
is like
13
13, 14
yeah,
years old.
Yeah,
So that's
13
14
years later.
There's no grey hairs on this man. Look, what?
No,
He's
he
got-
is. No, he has got grey. He has got grey.
I don't know. I was like, make him older. Look, make him look older, man.
Yeah.
I want him on a walking stick after all those falls that he's been doing.
Yeah, his hips can't be so clever, can they?
I was-
After all
yeah,
that?
I just want him. I want him clickety clacking when he's walking. Right? I just want to. I want him
It's
like.
a nice end, though, isn't it?
I
to
want
the
him in
game?
like a
It's
big
nice
body
end.
brace, going, "Hi, daughter. Sorry, I can't move, but I jumped off about 50 flights of
I'm
stairs." when I
very
was-
proud of you.
Yeah. When I was
Oh,
30,
yeah.
you wouldn't believe the things I jumped off. But my bones are so. I am Mr. Glass. So
Oh,
yeah,
Grandpa, did you fall and break your face again?
the game sort of ends with her being interested, and then Nathan finally explaining his past life because it seems
Yeah,
like
what
she's
did done? What did he do?
and that's sort of the ending. What do we think of the ending, Stu?
I liked it. I
I liked
liked it the
it.
first time round. I like it this time
Yeah,
around.
it's nice. It's nice.
Is she
It-
called
does it
Chrissy?
hold up then?
Is she called Chrissy the girl?
Sure, why not? Let's call her
I
Chrissy.
feel like it's Chrissy. I
Why
don't know. I
not?
could be wrong, but I feel like it is.
But it is.
Um,
It is definitely Naughty Dog saying Nathan is done. There is no
yeah,
Nathan.
is. Yeah, he's too old now
He's
to do
old.
any of that.
He's
shit.
done. Yeah, but there's always a little back door open, I think, for other things. So
Yeah,
nice.
I like the
Yeah.
ending. I must admit. Right, I've got a question. Right, and I thought
Okay.
I nearly sent it to you on WhatsApp, but I thought I'll wait till the
Wait,
show.
I've got a trivia section, then we'll be done.
Okay.
So
Oh
yeah,
snap! There's all sorts of bonus features
right,
here
yeah,
on
okay.
this
Well, this is-
retrospective.
This is related to gameplay. It's only very
okay.
quick.
All right,
so shall we
let's
do this
go.
first?
Yep. No.
Ranking order of boss fights
Right.
within the game. Ranking order worst to best.
Yeah.
So I think we agreed that number one is just quite possibly the worst.
Remind me of them. Oh, Stu's gone again.
The
The first one's
sorry.
the worst.
first one's the worst.
What was that one again?
Oh, my internet connection's unstable. Sorry, guys. It just keeps coming up. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah.
You
What
know?
was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first one? What was the first
So
one?
the first one's on the ship at the end, and it's just literally a quick time event, and it's just
Oh
done
yeah,
and
yeah,
dusted.
yeah. You know what? I didn't hate that one. That's okay. It's fine.
So,
It's-
is that could be two, because I think two was the worst, the one where you're
I
just
think
running
I
around
think
in
two
a
is the
circle endlessly.
I think two is awful. Two is the
Yeah,
worst. It's weird because
awful.
two is like one of the best games, but two's boss fight is fucking terrible.
Fucking over. You're running around in a circle for about 15
What was
minutes.
three? What happened in three?
So three kind of wasn't a boss fight. It was like the
Oh,
big
you just
runaway.
You just run away. don't you?
woman-
No, there is a
woman
boss
sings-
fight because you have a
yeah,
little
woman-
fight.
You do, but again, it's a very quick time event. You have that kind of, and you have to shoot him
Okay,
off
yeah.
the cliff, don't
Didn't
you?
didn't
So it's
hate
kind of-
three. Didn't hate three.
Yeah, three. And she sinks in the sinking sand, doesn't she? She
You know
just
what?
disappears.
I'm gonna say it. I think this is the order. You ready?
Yeah, go. So worst first, best last.
Worst first, best last. I think it's hold on. I had it the other way in my head, so I wasn't ready for that. I'm gonna say 2, 1, 3, 4. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree.
2,
I kind of
1.
agree
So
with you.
two's the
Yeah,
worst
it's-
one. One's okay. It's just a quick time
Yeah.
event. Three's okay. It's quick, but
It's
the
it's another
escape's
quick
good.
time event.
And I think 4 is top notch.
Yeah, I think it's the best one.
And
I think
that's
the
not just
sword fight
because
was
I
cool.
want to clarify I'm happily married to a woman, and not just because of beautiful raised hair. Okay, I think the mechanics are good. All right.
It's the only one for me in this game that actually felt like a decent boss fight, and it's quite cinematic.
Yeah, very cinematic.
You know what I mean? And the setting's cool.
So,
So, yeah,
are we
no,
ready for
I would
my?
agree.
I got a trivia section.
Let's do this.
Un,
Trivia.
trivia charted. It's called
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
It's flawless.
It's flawless stuff. You didn't even know that was happening, and both of you have got to rate this in how interesting it is. And Stu,
Okay.
just to
Okay.
let you know,
A through F.
just to let you know, one of them you're going to be very interested in, and it's not.
Okay.
It's not about sweat. Okay.
Right.
Right.
Okay. No, okay,
Is it about
okay.
poo and a stick?
No. Okay, so trivia. In Chapter 11, once the cutscene is finished after leaving the tower, you obtain a trophy called Stage Fright by standing still for 30 seconds. This is a humorous reference to Naughty Dog's technical problems when they first showed the scene on the live stage at E3.
I did
C
get
minus.
that. By the way, I did get that achievement, so I have got that.
What was you doing? What was you standing there for
I
30
don't
seconds?
know, but I did. I got it. I got that. I
Stu
got that
often just doesn't know what to
achievement.
do.
I don't know why.
Is that-
Just
is that
stand
how-
still.
Is that how
He
quick you...
got the achievement for not running too. He's just like every game he plays.
I
Just
did.
hang out.
I was probably just
I'll
looking
walk
at the
over
scenery.
here.
I don't know,
Is it-
but I did
jeez.
get that achievement.
How
Yeah, I got it.
slow do you play these games, Stu?
I don't know.
One step at a time.
Because I remember it
Just
popping
take
up,
it
and I'm
easy,
like,
man. Just-
oh, did I stand still for 30
Um,
seconds? It only came up at the end of the game. I
Okay,
think. It
okay.
was a bit of a weird one.
This one's an obvious one, but it's the first game in the Uncharted series that lets you play as a different character other than Nathan Drake.
D. Who
Oh,
cares? It's
okay.
not interesting trivia.
All right, Stu. Sorry, Duke. Well, you white people all the same.
Yeah,
Right.
don't blame me.
Hey, you asked me to rate each
No, I know, but
trivia
like,
bit. I'm rating them.
a bit
Don't ask
harsh.
for my opinion if you can't handle my
I
opinion.
give. By the way, I
bitch.
give the first one a B plus. I like
Right.
the first.
B plus.
The game has the most collectibles in the entire series with a total of 193. The first game had 61. The other two had 101. Duke is shaking his head. Didn't like that one.
C minus.
Yeah, I didn't even.
Every game has collectibles. Like what?
Do you know what? I
Oh,
only
right.
picked them up if I came across them. I didn't actually physically go.
I
Okay.
thought we were gonna get like this person's eyeball came out when they were doing the
Okay,
mocap.
this
or
one's the
something.
better one. This one's a better one.
Okay. Here we go.
Eyeball.
Nolan North's eyeball came out when he was no, he didn't say that.
Oh, that's
Yes,
amazing.
A+.
No,
That's
didn't.
what I want. This is the content I came here
Nolan
for.
still has his eyes.
Well, you can put it back.
This is a good one. This is a good one. Chapter 11.
Okay.
Nate
Yeah.
can wander into a immigration checkpoint and begin the conversation with Sully. During the conversation, Nate refers to a country named Autokaza, which is the fictional country that appears in the game Papers, Please.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a good trivia. There's an A
that.
trivia bit. Yes, good.
This
Yeah,
one's
that's a good
also
Easter
a
egg.
good one. In chapter
That's
10,
good Easter
you
egg. I like
drive. In chapter 10, you drive around Madagascar in a jeep. The license plate spells VN373. If you turn it around, it spells Elena.
T-E. Oh, Elena. Okay.
Wasn't there one?
Nice.
Wasn't there something to do
7
with
is
the
awesome.
plane serial number in 3 or 2?
You
2 or-
assume that I remember things from previous episodes.
I feel like there was definitely something to do with one of the
I don't
plane
know.
serial numbers.
Yeah, that sounds right.
You know when he
Nate,
finds that shortcut? Aren't you thinking like, how do you know that's a shortcut?
Nate makes a suggestion to Sam to use Charlie Cutter from Nate's phone contacts to help him. This is a reference to the players of the entire series. Faithful players remember Charlie Cutter as the character from Uncharted 3, the bald
That
guy.
is correct. Yeah, I
Okay.
remember Charlie Cutter.
A minor character coming back. It's like a B minus.
Hey, he was in it quite a bit. He was in it quite a bit, wasn't he? He was
Okay,
like, "Oh,
Okay, fine. So a major character coming back. Why is that a
London
trivia
gangster.
then?
London gangster.
I did find another one. Anyway, although she was no way involved in the game, Amy Hennig is still credited for her gratitude and contributions to the franchise. Still
Yeah, I
credited.
saw that. I
That's
saw
good.
that at the end when the obviously
Contribute to an
the-
earlier game, and you're gonna have some impact.
when the
on
credits
later
roll.
on.
In an
she's on
earlier version of the game, Amy Hennig wrote a draft for Uncharted 4, but not much of it got used. But the one thing that's still in there is Nathan's brother. That's part of Amy's sort of writing.
And
but,
she had a note on one of the character designs. It's like, make his hair gorgeous.
like you said,
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
that,
Rafe, yeah,
unfortunately.
mate,
No,
Rafe looked amazing.
Amy Hennig, originally the enemy in the game was going to be Sam, Nathan's brother, but they created
Ah.
Rafe because they thought
Right.
wouldn't
It
be
was
worse.
close because he was a bit of a
People wouldn't
twat.
want-
And then the last one I've got, this is an absolute banger, Stu. You're going to love this one.
Come on, then. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. It better be good because you built it up now.
The
You
unnamed,
have built it up a lot.
the unnamed pirate founder looks very much like another character from a different game. He's Pirate Signal or Sigal, whatever.
Sigil.
Sigil. Sorry, thank
Sigil.
you. I knew I was saying it wrong. He's a monkey on chapter 15 in the treasury
Monkey
below.
Island.
The
Look,
picture of
sure.
him, you can see that his name is Guy Wood through the scratches.
You know,
a nod-
never saw
A nod to Guy Brush, Threepwood,
Threepwood.
absolute banger. I want an A star. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Dude, that is a banger of a trivia bit for Stu.
I like that. I didn't pick up. I should have picked up on that.
You idiot, Stu.
Wow.
I am an idiot. I should have been.
You didn't
I
notice
was
that
too
very minor
busy.
thing in the corner of the screen? Come on.
No, but I was too busy trying to solve the puzzle, so I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Because you're kind
Too
of
busy
fixated
standing there
on
while a plane tries to kill you or something.
Fixated on solving the puzzle.
Yes,
Oh.
Duke's
apparently.
captured the spirit of Uncharted games. Too busy standing there while a plane's trying to kill you. That's exactly what
Yeah,
we were
it is.
doing in most of these games.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
So there
that
you
was the
are.
achievement
So
of it.
Stu, I'm going to ask you the question:
Okay.
does Uncharted 4 hold up?
Oh, by a country mile. I think I'll be honest. I used to think that 2 was the best one, but
I don't know.
I feel like this is the best in the series.
I think
now.
Uncharted 4 is the best Uncharted game you can play.
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely. And
I do.
it's the only one that doesn't have any supernatural bollocks. in
Yeah,
it.
it's the only one that's kind of grounded.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
And
mean, yeah, where you go is
as-
still fictional. but
yeah,
still.
I mean, as much as we've taken the piss out of some of the stuff and decisions that they make, and Rafe always being one step ahead and getting there with his massive army and stuff, I also think this is the one that's most credible as well. It's the kind of the one
Because
that
remember,
isn't
we
too
sorry, Sweetie.
fantastical.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were playing 3, and we every week we were talking about how stupid the decisions were in 3. Like,
Yeah,
why are you
yeah,
going
yeah.
there? How did you get there so fast? Why are you going there? Why not just do this? But none of that in this. It all makes
No,
sense.
I struggled to take the piss out of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I managed a little bit.
Yeah, and it's
was
hard because
different.
they're so sexy in this game as well.
Yeah, they are. And Elena looks great. I mean, she looked like she had some fucking whack plastic surgery in 3, but in this, she looks fine. You know what I mean? She's looking good.
Well, there you are. So we've done the Uncharted series. Yay!
Here we are. It's all done.
It's over.
And can I just say, I mean, we didn't mention this while we were talking about it, but Elena's a badass bitch, isn't she? I mean, she is like, she's not happy that he's done this stuff, but she's like, she's down with it. You know what I mean? And
You know why?
like,
Because she sort of misses it as well, though. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she alludes to that at the end. Like, she's well, I kind
Yeah,
of missed this. Oh,
she's
yeah.
a badass.
You gotta
I mean,
be a
and-
bad bitch when you come across
and-
someone you got bad blood with.
Baby, now we got bad blood.
Well, that's
and
us
she's ripped.
copyright strike. Yeah, go on.
She's ripped
She's ripped,
because,
yeah.
like the bit with when the light goes off, she gets up through the hole and then pulls him up.
Yeah,
And I'm like, wow, she is fucking strong.
strong. Yep.
So yeah,
Taylor Swift's not very litigious.
Yeah, she won't.
yeah,
not like
she'll
she,
not be bothered.
she not like
The
she
bots
took on.
don't know her music.
She's not like she took on Spotify and TikTok by herself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
she'll be fine with it. She'll not be bothered.
She'll be alright.
So yeah, it definitely holds up in a massive way. And even though it's not quite
Not
the
quite 10 years, but we got to play it.
And by the way, I bought a game in the Steam. Talking of things that does it hold up, I bought a game in the Steam sale, which I've never owned on Steam. So I was like, it's £2. So I was like, it's a no-brainer. And it nearly qualifies for the 10-year mark, which I was a bit shocked. Witcher 3. I bought The Witcher 3.
Witcher 3.
Almost
Wow,
2015, isn't it?
Yeah, 9 years old. It's 9 years old.
Yep.
So I was like, damn, that's way older than I remembered.
Yep.
And there might not be any floating rope when I play it this time. You know what I mean? Second time around. Because I've only ever played it once. So there you go.
Yes. Okay. We're good.
Okay, time for some emails. We've got
All right, time for
3
some
or possibly 4.
Whoa, that ruled.
That rule.
So I'm going to start with this email this evening. It's from our friend Steve Pemberton, who we are helping.
Steve Pemberton.
With his dating woes. So
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
you know. And this email is entitled Sexy Voice Part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sexy voice. Read it in your sexiest voice, Stu.
So he says, hi, guys. Looks like we have a 20% chance of having a veteran gamer's wedding happening on our hands.
No.
I'm not going to lie. When I found out there was 3 speak pipes from Jacinta, I did get butterflies in my tummy. Thinking, God, is she going to say she's jumping on the next plane and I have like 1 in 20% chance to impress? But I can safely say I've never faced rejection or competition with a female video game character before. I don't know how attractive this woman is because I haven't even played Elden Ring yet. But nevertheless, it was funny that I was rejected that way. And it doesn't say much my street cred, though.
Hey, you know, it's all good. It happens to all of us.
Jacinta, I'm glad I made your day. Next time, maybe I can achieve the week by sending you flowers. But seeing as I haven't got your address, that might take a while. And then maybe
Just send them to me. I'll make sure she gets them.
Maybe you can send me a pet kangaroo. Whoever burned you sounds like they don't know how lucky they were. I think you seem a very nice and slightly too cool to be a teacher. But I say that, and Duke did drop that sick rap track. Duke,
yeah.
Game, you can't drop it on Spotify and give Eminem a run for his money. Can I just say, Steve sounds like a really nice guy. I think I fancy him a bit. I'm just saying.
Oh, snap. All of us are figuring things out right here at the end of Pride. How about that?
He's going to send
Stu's going to hook up with Steve. Mike's going to hook up with Rafe.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hook up with the guy from Nimbus X. Little
there you
dude.
Go. Squishy dude.
Yeah, Hess. Yeah.
There you go. Well, Jacinta, unless you change your mind, I will admire you from afar. Thanks, Steve. Thanks. You needed a comma there.
Thanks, Steve. Right.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. He's thanking himself. Thanks for being a cool guy, Steve. Sincerely, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Steve.
So there you go. There
And
you
we
go.
thank you, Steve, for writing
Thanks,
in.
Steve.
Absolutely.
Okay, Steve. This is a
Okay.
biggie. Get ready. Strap in, guys.
Okay.
Strap the fucking right. Okay, here we go. This is from Armar, friend of the show. We did put a challenge
Armar
out to him.
Powers!
Challenge
Oh,
out to
did
him.
we?
To, yeah, we asked him how, as he's from Glasgow, how authentic
Oh, that's right.
was still
yeah,
Waits
yeah.
the
Okay.
Deep. How authentic
Okay.
is
Okay.
it?
There we go. He's
So
coming
he says, ahoy, ahoy!
through.
I do wish I
Hey,
could do. I know. I wish I could do a good Scottish accent, but
I
unfortunately, I
did
can't.
it.
So I'm not going to try. He says, "Hello, hello." I'm going to just do a posh English
Hello.
accent. How about that? He'll probably hate that.
Yes, go for it.
Hello, and the warmest of salutations to the veteran gamers of the gaming lifestyle.
Yes.
Thank you for the shout and the few mentions I got last week in the podcast. After all this time, I still get a little giddy. Actually, I think that sounded pretty good, actually.
Yes.
I did indeed watch the first hour of Still Wakes the Deep. Bloody hell.
Okay.
It was like being out with my friends, but with considerably less swearing. Well, they must swear a lot because they do
No
swear
fooling.
quite a bit. They
I'm
do swear
from
quite a bit.
North Kiltown.
The accents did make me laugh, and my daughter is now interested when I showed her a few clips. The gaffer, honestly, has to be one of the best characters ever. He reminds me of my old school janitor, Mr. O'Rourke, or even Sir Alex Ferguson. Proper grumpy, hardy old men who grew up in the 50s and 60s in the west of Scotland against the backdrop of an industrial landscape. Duke, just for your information, Sir Alex is the Bill Belichick of UK football.
Okay. So he cheats a lot.
Probably. No, he never cheated a lot. He just shouted a lot. He did shout a lot. I have been slowly getting back into gaming. Can I get a collective hurrah?
Hurrah!
Hurrah! The Steam sale is on, and I picked up Ballistic NG, which is a homage to Wipeout for around £7. Totally
Oh,
worth
that's
it.
right. I saw that. Yeah, yeah. There's one
Yeah.
called Red Out as well that was recently on the Epic Game Store, I think.
It's totally worth it, and I swear it is Wipeout. Also bought was Megacopter, Blades of the Goddess. This one was around £12, but is a homage to Desert Strike Dungle. I said Dungle then, Dungle Strike.
Dungle.
Dungle. Jungle Strike hits by EA on the
Okay.
Sega Genesis. An absolute topper of a game. But last but not least, I grabbed 2 Point Campus from the £5. I love 2 Point Campus, which was a homage to Theme Hospital, and we'll look forward to playing this. I also grabbed X Zodiac, which can be described as a retro 3D polygon game. And it is a homage, would you believe, to Star Fox. Huh.
Wow.
There is a theme developing here, isn't there?
I guess so. Remakes are
this-
the thing.
This on my ultra-wide 21:9 ratio monitor is brilliant.
21:9. Damn.
So if you're looking for
very
great
wide screen.
games to buy on Steam, X Zodiac, Megacopter, and Ballistic NG will be a great addition to anybody's collection. Can I just say?
Yeah,
Finally,
go
I have a question for Mike Chin, Mr. Chin himself.
Okay.
You are a SNES man, much like me. Is that true?
Correct.
Did you ever play Super Metroid or any of the other Metroid games?
I'm not. I touched them a little bit, but it was more my brother that was into Metro.
Wrong podcast. Right into the overseas connection.
Yeah. Because
So-
quite honestly, this franchise totally passed me by in the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, until-
I had the game. It was in my house, and I still have it somewhere in this house, but I've never really been that invested.
You
I
played
tried.
with Rosa.
I tried Metroid Prime on the GameCube. Wasn't for me, so not really a thing for me.
Well, that is until very recently. I did buy Metroid Dread and Metroid 2 on the 3DS, but that was for the collector's edition. I played Metroid Fusion recently, Super Metroid, and Metroid Zero Mission on the Switch, and these games are fantastic. I absolutely adore them. And I haven't even touched the Metroid Prime 3D games. I'm kicking myself for overlooking them all of this time. How about you, Mike?
Glad you
Would
found
not
them now.
fancy a dabble?
Maybe Super Metro. Maybe the more modern ones I've heard are pretty good. I
Do
like.
they hold up? That's the question.
Well, if only we had some sort of a feature, eh? Yeah. I like Metroidvania games in general. So, but I haven't played Metroid or Castlevania really. So, go figure.
Also, will you be doing a 24 Gameathon this year? Because every time I log onto your YouTube channel, it's the first thing I see.
Yeah, I should change that, shouldn't I? Do complain about that all the time. No,
I don't complain. I just think it's
last time I did it was I did 2 in 2020. I did 2. I did one for my a local charity.
Oh, I remember that.
In
Yeah.
the Compton Hospice or Compton Care. So it's it's a hospice basically.
that.
And then I
That
did,
24-hour playthrough was straight out of Compton.
and yeah,
It was. Literally.
That's what I am now. I live in an area
Yeah.
called Compton. So,
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chini straight out of Compton.
Nice.
Who knew?
Chini straight out of
But
Compton.
very very different area to Compton in California. This
He
is,
doesn't do it for the gram. He does it
no,
for Compton.
like it's weird because like Compton in Wolverhampton is actually like quite a nice area.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
when you say Compton,
Oh, you're saying Compton, California is not nice?
Yeah, what are you saying?
I'm saying that the reputation of
How
Compton.
dare you?
Wow.
It's been
fucking
tainted
hell,
by-
man, that is. Ooh.
It's been the reputation of Compton has been tainted by Western rap in the
Well,
90s.
there are certainly a lot of horrible things that happen in Compton
Wow.
because of
You should hang
economic
around here.
conditions.
Sometimes
Social-
some people don't put their bin out on time. It's
Yeah, or
fucking
they don't mow the
Oh,
lawn.
man.
They don't mow the front
I
lawn.
thought I
That's
got
terrible.
a glimpse into life in the ghetto through NWA, but
And when we first
You're
moved here
gonna
around the
see
corner,
what's really going on.
somebody got shot at. So it isn't entirely different from the.
well, all right then.
Anyway,
I can't make a joke about that.
no.
I'm not gonna play the sad horn now. Wah, wah.
So anyway,
right.
yeah, I'll maybe I'll dabble.
Super Metroid.
Yeah, Super Metroid. Maybe I'll give it a dabble.
Anyway,
Anyway,
the last thing before I sign off, last week's show, there was a discussion about getting things up the bum
oh yeah,
for medical purposes, which did
Right in the butt.
make me shiver a little bit inside, I have to admit.
Right in the butt. Right in the butt.
And it also got me slightly worried. Because I have this to look forward to in the next few years, but with Duke getting his bum checked and Shu recovering very well from
Right
his
in the butt.
heart issues,
keep playing that. That's fine.
it brought everyone's mortality crashing down on me. Please look after yourselves and don't leave it too late to go see a doc if you don't feel well. If something
That's
doesn't
right.
feel right, if you have a strange growth anywhere, etc., etc., or if your willy falls off.
Yeah.
So yeah, do that. Do that. Thank you, Arma, loyal listener, lover of the veteran gamers, and friend of the show.
I don't know if I like
And we
this
love you too.
posh stuff. Sure, I don't know.
Yeah, I've got to add lib a bit. I've got to add stuff in because obviously it doesn't sound right otherwise.
We used to
So,
have
yeah.
accents every week. We had from news story to news story. There would just be accents and accents.
Yeah, that was me though.
That was you. I thought that was pretty good. I thought I did a pretty good job.
It was
there,
fine.
just saying.
I feel like
Speaking of
like honesty is good
cameras
here,
in
Stu.
Right in the
bud,
butt.
honesty is good here, Stu. I didn't like it. I just want to be honest with you.
Ah,
I'm just being
fine,
honest.
duly noted. So if people were wondering, the camera in the butt went fine. Last time
Oh, yeah.
I was on the show, it was
Congratulations.
pending. I was on the soft diet. The chug jug is the part that did me in. Not because I had to
Blech.
go to the toilet every 5 minutes, but because I was constantly like I couldn't do anything else. You know what I mean? If I
Yeah.
had to go poo every 10 minutes, that would be one thing. But I had to chug a glass of it and then run to the toilet and then come back and then like I would have Skyrim running because that's a game you can just pause and run away, right? But I would unpause it, play for like 30 seconds, and then it was either time to chug or time to go run back to the toilet. So it was just exhausting. And I was grumpy because I didn't have food. And then when I went into the place, I had to wait for 3 hours.
Wow.
So the whole notion of like, well, at least in the United States, we don't have to wait. You know what? 3 hours is ridiculous. I mean, there's
Well-
overbooked and running behind, and then there's come on, 3 hour wait. And I
Well,
hadn't
you're
been
saying
eating
that.
for 24 hours.
You say that, Duke, right? But oh, for God's sake, my daughter's just coming shouting about England winning. You say that, Duke, but a friend of my daughter, her sister's boyfriend, has epilepsy and was having really bad seizures.
That sucks.
Yeah, went to A&E, and they have on the board estimated time to see things and stuff on the board, so estimated times. And the estimated time to see a doctor was 12 hours.
Oh
in
God,
A&E.
that's horrible.
And the estimated
sucks.
time, if he needed a bed on the ward, so if he had to be admitted, was 36 hours.
Also ridiculous. That's I'm
36
sorry to hear that.
hours
That really
to
sucks.
get a bed on the ward.
Yeah,
And-
I don't ever like to hear anybody suffering
Yeah.
from something. So
And
when I
he
hear
ended it-
someone's
it
had a
ended
horrible
up-
wait, I tend to say that
Yeah.
sucks that you were in that distressing situation. That's what
and
I
he was
do when
he was
someone's talking
continually
about
having
them being-
seizures whilst
having to wait.
he was in the hospital. So what they did
Right.
was stick him on a gurney in the corridor outside of intensive care, just in case something happened.
That
So,
sucks.
yeah, it does. So there you go. That's the NHS for you, I guess.
Yeah,
Right. On that beautiful note, we have got an email off our friend of the show, Jason.
Jason Gallagher.
And he says this. Howdy, folks.
Hello.
No,
Howdy.
I'm not going to do a stupid accent.
Go back to
Uh,
the posh British one. Chinny loved that.
Yeah, shall we do that one? Anyway, he entitled his email Pool of Madness.
Full of madness.
Pool of Madness. He said, this is a title of a 2024 video game based on snooker, pool, and Lovecraftian horror.
Really? It's a real thing?
Apparently so.
Okay.
It's also what I refer to as the most recent presidential debate. If voting actually
don't get me
worked,
started on the debate.
if voting actually worked, they wouldn't allow it. It's clear to me at this point that the only worthy candidate as of June 30th, 2024 is Kennedy. So I have no idea.
Okay,
about-
that's funny. That's good. I love the humor. Way to go, Jason. Nice joke.
I heard something today that's probably not very PC, but kind of apt today, which was in
It's
a
like
re-
everybody's just trying to get me to speak up about politics when I'm trying so hard not to.
which,
Go ahead.
which is kind of in reference to voting for either Rishi Sunak or Keir Starmer. And then they said it's like a point in a headmaster to a primary school where you've got the choice of Gary Glitter or Jimmy Savile. So there you go. Who knew?
Well, okay.
So there you go. Anyway, which is no choice at all. What they're saying is there's no choice between
Right.
because they're both
Yeah, I
crap.
got that. Right. They're both.
both
crap.
n-
I
they're
got
both
you.
not
well,
appropriate.
That's not the case in the
So,
United States, though. So,
Okay.
for the record, I mean, but well, we can talk about it after the show, perhaps.
Yeah. Anyway, he said
Yeah.
the firms and institutions are ruling the free world. That's
Yes.
why I stick to video games. In
Mm-hmm.
these mid to later years in life, it feels like I am living in the Truman Show. I've had more bad luck in the past 5 years than in my entire lifespan.
Oh no!
How is
Let's go to
any of,
Fiji.
how is any of this shit real? Everything is
right?
a plane crash, Boeing safety issues. Am I right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Duke. I remember. Do you remember DC-10s? Do you remember that? I mean, Chinny probably won't, but Duke might do. You remember?
Is that a plane?
Yeah, there used to be a plane called a DC-10, and they
I
just
vaguely
crashed.
recall that.
They crashed
okay.
all the time. They always had major
Mm.
safety issues.
Okay.
Duke, Tyler Durden warned us. I'm going to get lost in Animal Well. So there you go. So
Hey,
Tyler.
it's
Tyler
called
told us.
anarcho-primitivism. It's not a solution to anything. They got backups for their credit files. We're not going to solve that problem that way.
Anyway, sorry for the rant, but you guys spent your entire episode last week talking about feces. So I felt the need for a
Yeah.
cleanse. Grow up,
Right in the butt.
losers. Grow up, losers. I myself
Yeah.
recently went to ER with abdominal pain. Come
Oh,
to find
no.
out, going poo isn't always meant to be an ironic metaphysical experience. just a pool of presidential madness. Good luck, veterans. So there you go.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, thank you,
there you go.
Jason. We appreciate you writing in. Hey, look, it's bad. Like I had to turn off the debate. So I'm kind of scared. And everybody that I know is saying like Biden needs to step down. That there is no pot of gold at the end of this rainbow. He said originally he was only going to run for one term, and he should have kept to that. It's
And
his
now-
ego that's making him run now.
And now he's saying, "Who am I? What the hell am I doing
Ugh.
here?
It's really not. It was hard to watch. I couldn't.
Can I
do
have my
it.
yogurt? Where's my yogurt?"
You know,
I'm much
there
better
comes
at
a point
golf.
when you have to say.
I'm much better
There
at
comes a
golf
point when
than
you have
him.
to say, it's better to just step aside and let someone else do the thing. You know, you're not the savior of everything.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
got a
But that's
he's got
hard
a
to do.
8 handicap in golf stick.
Yeah. And also, he probably can't remember saying he'd only like do it for one turn. He probably can't remember now.
No, you probably can't remember that.
Probably can't remember. Anyway, final email this evening is from Mike Post, and he says, "Question
Mike
for the
Post.
show."
Hello.
Question for the
Yeah,
show.
go ahead. Fire away. Shoot. Let me hear you. Shoot.
Now, before I read this, right, you two guys need to be nice, okay? You need to be
I'm
nice.
always nice, you fuck.
Well, just be nice, right?
Caught
Just
me
be
off
nice.
guard.
All right, I'll be nice.
Caught me
I
off
mean,
guard.
if he's cool, I'll be cool.
And also, this could be beneficial to other listeners as well. So, okay. All right, how's it going?
Fuck off. Sorry. I need to just. All right, I'll be nice.
This is my fourth email into show.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike Post.
And I haven't been listening too long, but I found you on TikTok where you predicted GTA 6 trailer in December.
All right. Mike found us through a thing that I did.
Tickety-tock.
Fuck.
Tickety-tock.
See, I told you the
All right.
internet.
Did you watch my TikTok with the bird? By the way, the bird has not gone away. That bird every day.
I love that bird.
I told you two that the internet will be
You
massive.
did?
I
You
said
did?
I said the internet's going to be a thing. We need to put
It's
on.
going to be a thing. I like listening to the show,
Mm-hmm.
but I've always wondered how you two ended up meeting an American and how you formed up podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, website don't bloody work because it's a bag of shit
I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it.
and brings up
No, we
fucking
need Rich to fix it.
No, I can
and
fix
bring
it.
and brings up fucking error messages all the time, you
Yep.
twats.
Yes, it
So
does.
there isn't anything about page or info.
Well,
You
there
know what
wasn't
I'm
ever
saying?
any info there anyway. So
No.
it's good that you went looking.
That
But
wasn't
That was
there.
never going to solve the problem.
That was never going to be that.
I know people who listen to the show who've been listening over a decade will already know answer. So sorry
That's
for
all right.
being a
We
newcomer.
love telling the same story over and over.
I am really interested to just know how you three met and how you started up to podcast. You know what I'm saying? Thanks.
You've told us this story many times.
And you'll hear it again.
See you on later. Catch you on flip side and all that shit, Mike.
So,
All
have you
right.
ever heard of glory holes, Mike?
Yeah, glory holes.
So we all
Cottage-
met. We
cottage inn.
all met at one glory hole, which I don't know how we all got it in through
Yes.
the. We was all
Well,
Well,
using
we
the
were all
same.
on the one side too. That's the part that
And that-
made no
and-
sense.
and
It's
there's-
like we're all ready to have dongs in
Wow.
our faces, but somebody has to have the dong out.
Yeah.
And none of us wanted to get the dong out.
then we
it was
were-
like we're
we
all
were-
just waiting for dong.
We were
And
bantering,
then-
and we was like, we should
This is-
record this. This is good.
No,
banter."
this is the best bit, though.
This is
This is
great.
the best bit. Dong came through the hole. I went round to see who it was, and it was George Michael.
It's George Michael.
So-
Yeah.
George Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely
saying.
man. Lovely man.
Lovely man. It
Oh,
was.
beautiful hair.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
Not as good as
It-
Charlie Wraith, but
And he still had,
have
he still had
faith that his hair
sunglasses
is
on.
gonna
He had
be
his sunglasses
do you
on.
want me to
It's
do?
been
Do you want me
weird.
to do
Of
a
course.
super
You
quick
keep your
version?
sunglasses on when you go to the.
Do you want me to say this
Glory
very quickly, Stu, or do you want to go through?
Go
it?
ahead, say it
No,
very
no,
quickly.
you go. You
All
do
right.
it, Chinny.
So once upon a time there was a podcast called 360 Plus. I used to listen to this. Stu used to listen to this. He sent in a song and then he went on a couple of times and then they asked me to come on. I ranted about GTA 4. That's how we met. Stu remembered me and he was like, that guy was pretty funny, even though he's got a stupid black country accent. Flash forward, he was on a forum called the Alba 35s. They said, we're going to start a podcast, Stu. You've been on a podcast. Do you want to start it? And then he remembered me and he says, I know this guy called Chinny. He's kind of funny and everybody else is boring. So let's bring him on. So we went on and then we did that for a bit and then they chucked us off and I don't really know why, but that all fucking ended. Stu seems to remember, but I'm really
No, we
not
got we got Duke before we got chucked off. To be fair.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah, that's true. So,
Yeah.
so anyway, we was doing the show for about a year, and Duke wrote in, sent a song or something. I barely paying attention, and Stu was like, "Oh, that guy sounds funny. We should bring him on." So us three was doing the
Yeah.
show. We was doing the show with another person. That person disappeared, and then the L35 was like, "These guys have nothing to do with us. They can fuck off. We're never going to do a podcast with them ever again." So then
So we started
changed.
our own goddamn thing.
So we changed our
Yeah.
name in 20. We started in 2008, June 2008, before celebrities started
Yeah.
doing podcasts. Something's happening, and then in 2010 we thought something is happening. We better make a name up, and then we was all on a call at the same time. We were looking at for what
Something's happening.
URLs are free, and Duke I think said, "Oh, veteran gamers," and that kind of sort of sounds like the
Yeah,
right
because
thing.
we're
Right.
old. We're old, aren't we?
And
We're
then
veterans of the gaming lifestyle, and in case we
Indeed.
didn't say it at the start of the show, I think
Yeah.
we did, but
And
we usually
then,
do. We are not military veterans. A lot of people come in and go, "Hey, thank you for your
do.
service."
Thank
We're
you,
like, no,
sir.
no,
They
no.
do.
if
we're
we
not that
could
kind of
if we could change the name, I would, but it's too far now. And that's how we
Yeah, it's
did.
probably a good idea.
That's how we met in 2010. The Veteran Gamers started January 2010. So
Did.
the Veteran Gamers has been going for 14 years. We've been podcasting for 16 years,
That's right.
And it's
And
around
we
about
met in 2018.
It's around about 16 years to the day. It was June
It
we
is.
started.
It
So
is.
it's roughly
It is,
20,
yeah, June.
yeah, it's roughly now.
And
Yeah,
we
and
met in person in 2018.
in 2018, the year that I got married, by the way, we all
That's
met
right.
in the flesh. And
The more important event that happened that year.
there's a YouTube video
That's me.
on the Veteran
Oh,
Gamers
go
YouTube
find
channel,
that one.
where
That's
Stu,
what should start up when if someone goes to
Yeah.
our
So the-
YouTube page.
the
Put
whole-
that as the
the whole thing was Stu thought that he was going to meet me, and then I brought
And
everybody
Tara
out
just for a bit of grub.
just for a
and
bit of grub.
meet-up.
And the funny thing was that Duke was there. That was a sort of surprise. But the funny thing was the restaurant was called Duke's 92, so it was a big
It
club.
was.
Duke's
It
92.
was.
So
I have the thing somewhere.
aye,
Is it over here?
he's off. Where's
What the hell's he doing
I don't
now?
know.
It's
He's doing
stapled to the bulletin board. I have the sign. It's reserved. Duke's 92 reserved.
Ah.
I have it on the bulletin board, but I don't want to tear it off because it's
right,
stapled
okay.
down. So.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, let me take a picture of this. And I think the Duchess or you, Chinny, somebody said, just take it. And I did.
Yeah,
I, was like,
I
oh,
think
shit,
I
I'm a
remember
criminal.
doing that. Yeah.
I'm lucky I didn't get caught in customs, man.
And
that-
just a
that was
factoid.
it, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, just a factoid for you. Duke wrote in. I'd recently listened to the Prodigy Invaders Must Die album.
Yeah.
And was talking about it, and Duke was like, "I love that album," and that's how.
Yeah, so you
he
bonded
wrote
on-
in.
That wasn't the
Use
first
it.
thing I wrote in about, though. It
No,
was
it
about
wasn't.
the
It
Peggle
wasn't. No,
music.
you'd written in
Peggle
Oh, but it
music.
was an early
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's it. That's
And
how we
I
met.
said to
That's who we
Chidi,
are.
He sounds all right.
And how wrong we were.
I know. Do you know what's
That's
interesting though? I
I've been
think
regretting
you
it
know,
ever
and
since.
I think part of the reason we work quite well is because we're quite distinctive from each other.
No, we're
Voice-
not.
Because
Voices
because
wise.
yeah, voices wise, and
Temperament to some extent.
yeah, and temperament and sort of opinions. You know, we
I'm the
are
light,
fairly-
breezy, chill
are quite different.
dude.
Yeah.
Chinny's the
Um,
angry, loud guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stu's the bookworm who's always talking about word origins and politics.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's kind of interesting at the time when people did start up amateur podcasts, they tended to live near each other. And a lot of the time I'd listen to them, I had no idea who was talking about which one's that because he sounds like the other guy.
Yeah.
So I think that's what kind of made us stand out a little bit because we are so different. To
And
each other
now in
and the thing.
2019, 2020, celebrities started doing podcasts, so now we're fucked.
Yeah, we've been doing
basically.
this for fucking while they were still fucking spreading shit on their faces as
Yeah.
babies. You know what I'm saying?
I never did that as a baby. What
No,
are you
I
talking
don't, think,
about?
I don't think Rose has ever done that. to be
Is
fair.
that a thing? Is that a
Not
statement?
yet.
Is that like a phrase? Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Not yet.
Anyway,
Will
All
be.
right.
You wait.
Any other
Mr.
emails? or
Mr.
anything
Post,
else
that's
about the
how we
story?
did it. Thanks for writing it.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
You just
Post.
wait. No, we have.
I like your friend Emily's etiquette columns.
Emily Post.
Here, I'll play the sound clip because that's definitely one of those.
Yeah.
Whoops, no, that's the wrong
we
one.
got another copyright strike.
Yeah, that's
Who's
not
on the
the.
beat? That's
Another
the wrong
reference
one.
by
sorry.
Duke that no one understands.
That's
There
the
we
one.
go. I finally. Sorry.
Yeah, we just got one
New
speed
layout.
pipe, which I did send you early in the week because he sent it early. which is
Yes, I have it ready to go.
Pipe, it's the way to leave a message for us.
And I'm gonna do it with an accent because Stu did things with an accent, so now I'm gonna do things. No, I'm not.
Just want to make this clear. I'm not enjoying this accent thing. It's just not.
That's why I did it. All right, this is from Saint Diesel, and the name of the speak pipe, which I didn't think they needed names, but whatever, is "Ice Ice Baby," a terrible song from a terrible person.
Favorite song.
Hey, Veteran Gamers, it's St. Diesel back again. Today I have a Stu Fowler style story for you. Whether you find it as entertaining, enthralling, or exciting as a Stu Fowler story, well, that's for you to determine.
It won't
Sorry
take
to
much.
jump in, but well, we know it's not. The difference between this story, I can already tell you, and a Stu Fowler story is this one's going to end at 1 minute 30 seconds, whereas you
Yeah,
never
it's
know when a
true.
Stu
That is-
Fowler story is
that
going to
is
end.
true.
So.
That is
But
true.
yesterday, the 24th of June, I was having problems with my PC at home. And I think it was the very hot weather. There wasn't really any cool air going through the PC, and the fan wasn't really working very well. I tried cleaning the dust out of it, and I got a bit out from inside. But I think it's just the warmth of the room where the PC's in, and it's just not really working very well. So I had an idea. How can I cool the inside of the PC? I don't have a appropriate sized fan that I could plug in near the PC to try and cool it. So I thought, what else could I use? And then I suddenly thought, well, I have some of those 6-pint containers for milk that I was going to put in the recycling bin next week. And I washed out a couple of those. put them in the freezer with fill them with water first, and I've got two 6-pint containers of ice basically now, and I've opened up the side of the PC and I've stood both of those 6-pint containers next to the PC to try and cool it down inside while I put the PC on. That sounds pretty crazy, I guess, but it might just work. Who knows? But in this situation, what would you have done to try and cool your PC? And I'll leave it at that until next time.
I would have bought some fans
Yeah,
that
buy
they
some extra
sell for
fans.
PCs, and
And
if
you
you
just
don't
plug
have
them
enough
in.
spots in your PC frame for the fans, then you buy a new shell for the PC. I hope. I mean, look, I love you, Saint Diesel. I trust you did this right. I just have visions of the ice melting, and like maybe it's too big for the jar, or the condensation's dripping everywhere. You don't want a lot of water. I mean, I get freaked out by the idea of a water cooling system. I don't want water near my PC. It can short circuit everything.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I feel like this sounds like something else is going on. I think there's maybe
it's
something not
just-
working. Even with the warm weather, it should still be fine.
And it's also a question of where the PC is located. Have you cleaned it out
Yeah.
with the compressed air? I hope, because that can.
Yeah, no, he
alleviate
said
some
he tried
problems.
that. He did say he tried that.
Oh, okay. Maybe I
first.
missed
Yeah.
that. Put it on a little bit high off the ground. Maybe if you have like a milk crate or something, you could try that. That might have some circulation toward the bottom. But you know, really, the key is the fans that they sell. They're not very expensive. They're really
No,
like
they're
$5
very
quid
cheap.
or something.
But
And
if you
just
don't
pop them
know,
right in your motherboard.
yeah, if you don't know how to do it yourself, there's I'm sure Hardly Dan will talk you through stuff like that, or even
Yeah,
Duke.
sure.
Even Duke
I
will
might
talk
be
you
able to
through it.
help you out. Yeah, if you
Yeah,
wanna
because you're only
find me
plugging them
on
into,
Discord or
into the
something.
fan pins, so they're fairly easy to.
But it is very frustrating when stuff like that doesn't work and when you have overheating problems and stuff. So I hope you get it sorted. If the ice thing, I mean, maybe the ice thing would work. I don't know. It
Well, it
depends on
will
the situation
cool it
you're in,
down, I
suppose.
guess, because it's
I mean,
drawing in
perhaps. I
colder
mean,
air past it.
Certainly, it would be better to have that. If you could do that plus a fan, like have a fan blow across the ice, that would be even more effective. But again, you got to watch out for like droplets of water getting
Yeah,
into your
you
PC and
do.
stuff.
Yeah,
so.
you do.
We have a person at work now who I won't mention his name, but we employed him about
Fred?
two years ago, and he's like the big PC nerd, right? So now,
Oh,
if there's
yeah.
any, because he's waiting, he's like, "Do you need to upgrade your PC yet, Mike?" And I was like,
Desperate,
"No."
he's desperate,
He's
isn't he,
desperate.
Chinny?
So no, I know. I said one day, Mister Man, I'm going to bring my tower in, and I'm just going to dump it on this table, and I'm just going to let you do that, right? And you just make it.
Do
And
your
then-
magic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he
he's
loves
gonna
it.
be
As
so
soon as
happy.
we get some, because we started buying PCs.
He knows you've got money.
Because we're going off Macs, by the way. The business usually runs on
Ooh,
Macs, but
interesting.
now sort of the way the industry's going is it's all going to PCs. So
Really?
so we're slowly
Wow.
converting the staff over to
Okay.
PCs. But it's kind of like a
I bet he was like, "I'll build them, don't
so,
you?
so
Don't need to
basically, yeah,
buy
I mean,
'em, I'll
basically,
build them."
you know Jamie Stew. So Jamie,
I do.
Jamie's not a big PC or Mac guy really. He's just sort of agnostic about the whole thing. But he did I use the word right?
Yes, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's agnostic about
In
the whole
an
thing.
allegorical way, a metaphorical.
Sure, I can.
Yeah.
You know, I can make up other words as well in a blah 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 way. So anyway, I like he needed a new computer. His Mac was slowing down, and we just said, I almost said his name then. Well, I'll call him
X, Mr. X.
Mr. X. I said, Mr. X, here you go. Just give me the list. Give me the spreadsheet of the prices of everything, and it comes. And the day all that stuff came, it was like Christmas for this kid. He was like, "Oh my god, I got to build it up." So yeah. So now that's anytime I was like, "No, you'll just fix all my PC problems from now on." That's part of your job.
There you go. You got a guy.
I got a guy.
You got a guy.
So there
I'm
you
sorry,
go.
Stu, but the word has come down. You're not allowed to do accents ever again.
I know, I saw that. I was
It's
like, I
official.
was
From
I
where?
was sure he'd love it.
No, Amar.
Amar said.
Amar.
No, I
No.
did say he's gonna hate
No
this
more
because you know,
Yeah,
what?
You were
what
right, and
Scottish
now you're
person-
banned.
What Scottish person wants to be depicted as a posh Englishman? I mean, nobody.
Yeah.
No one.
Well,
is.
what British person wants to be depicted as a
Well,
posh
yeah, that's also true.
English person?
That's also
Oh,
true.
careful. Right. Careful.
Quiet. Englishman, you're all so f***ing pompous.
That's true.
None of you have got any balls.
Thank you, Dad.
Anyway,
Thank you.
at that point, it is time to do some shout outs and get the hell out of here. So,
It's time for some shout outs.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
So, Duke, my dude, off you go.
Yes, I will shout out Death because I love Death. That's from Monty Python Meaning of Life. I will shout out the Duchess because she's awesome. I will shout out my friend John who gave me a ride home from the doctors after my 3-hour wait to get the procedure done,
When he
which
picked you up,
sucks.
when he picked you up was like an awkward moment going, how's your butt? Okay.
Your butt, dude. I was really craving a Subway veggie sub, so that's what I got on the way home. So anyway. Shout out to Jacinta for having a secret crush. Jacinta and someone sitting in a tree. Not the dude who's been writing it. I'm sorry. You seem like a really lovely person, but it's someone else. Anyway, I'm not going to tell anyone, Jacinta. Don't worry. Mum's the word. My lips are sealed. Shout out. Chris Williams is on my TikTok and my Instagram. And let me tell you something. Let me say something to you, Chris. All right, you listening? Here we go. Your real life better not be as cute and wholesome as it looks on social media because
really
goddamn, everything he posts is just so cute. His kids are adorable.
He's only got one kid.
I have to believe that there's a okay, fine. There's a curating process going on, and he doesn't show us the part where the kid is like, "Fuck you, Dad," and you shit. Because I mean, how can anyone's life be so? It's just so charming. And
kayaking and canoeing.
Yeah, he's always out on holiday and in the wild and just having fun, and everyone's smiling. And I'm like, God damn it! If I showed you, me and my friends, like maybe if one person tells a really good joke, there will be a chuckle. But for the most part, it's just like, man, it's fucking everything. God. So and I'll shout out Akita Ryan on Reddit. I don't know if I posted them on the Discord, but anyway, I recently found my notes from my first playthrough of Skyrim. Did I tell you about this?
I think so, yeah. I think you did.
So I posted those on Reddit and I got like 500 upvotes. It was like, yeah, Reddit was into it. And so I mentioned that I take notes because of the podcast. And one person said, what podcast? When is it on? And I was like, well, we record every Sunday. So if that person tuned in, Akita Ryan, hey, what's happening? And if not, then, whatever. Maybe they'll listen next time. Go to our website and find out more details.
Yeah, it's got loads of shit on there.
It's a good
about us, how we met.
It's a good website.
Oh, it's growing.
It's a great
It
website.
works at so many levels.
All right, who's next for shout outs?
I'll go. I'm going to shout out the lovely Armar, of course, for not only taking the time to watch an hour of Still Wakes to Deep. So he didn't play, but he spent an hour watching it so he could give us his opinion. But also for loving the accent I did for his email. I try my best. That's all I can say. I try my best. I'm also going to shout out Steve. I know, yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to shout out Steve because he seems like a lovely guy. And Jacinta, if you lived in the UK, you might not be able to go wrong there. He seems like a nice guy.
Is Steve in the UK?
Yeah, he's in Cornwall, isn't he? Remember, old Devon. And can we just say, Jacinta, that is a really nice part of the country.
It's all right. No, it's not.
I agree that he sounds very nice. I don't know if she actually said no thanks, but I think she said no thanks. So he should probably keep it.
He had a 20% chance.
Futurama is not a healthy way to think about. Like, you'll get her. Just keep after her. Like, no, just let it go, dude.
Yeah. Cornwall is a nice place to go for your olliebops in England. I don't know. Like, they want to be their own country. They can't make their mind up who came up with the scone, jam first, cream first, with the Devon War. I don't know. It's far as well.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Cornwall is fucking
And
far.
what is the right shape for a Cornish pasty? That's the other question.
They've got problems
You know what I
down
mean?
there. They've got
Is it
beef
crust
going
on
on.
the side,
around your
a crust
corn?
on the top, crimp on the top.
Like-
Is it
like
crust side, crimp on top? I don't know.
Devon's far, but Cornwall's fucking far from everything. Everything. If you want to go to London, it's far. If you want to go to Birmingham, far. Manchester, fucking far. Scotland, mega far. You might as well just get a plane.
Yeah, Cornwall, 8 hours, isn't it? It's about 8 hours from where I live.
It's 5.5 hours from where I live. It's
Yeah,
fucking
it's about
ridiculous.
8 hours. It's a long way.
When you get to Devon, it's still 2 hours away. It's
I
fucking
know.
mad.
I know. It's madness, isn't it? That bottom of England.
Right,
That's a lot.
it's, right, it's the toe of England, basically.
It is. It is.
Anyway.
The Cornish
Anyway.
language became extinct as a living community language at the end of the 18th century, but it's now being revived, apparently.
course
They
it
want to
is.
be their own country,
you go.
dude.
Yeah,
They've
of
got
course
like
it
their
is.
own flag and everything.
Hey,
Chinny, over to you for shout outs.
Shout out to Cornwall. I've been to Newquay many times. I've been to St.
my favorite
Ives.
place in
My
England.
favourite place in the world. I love it. We stayed in
Hey, Big Willie Surf Shack. Who could forget that?
Falmouth. I think we stayed in Falmouth. So that's anyway. We stayed by there.
Anyway,
It
somewhere
was
down there.
it was nice. Shout out to Cornwall. Only joking. Love you. Don't know which way you do your scones, but whatever way, it's fine. Shout out to baby Rosa. She is going to be 9 months soon. Can you believe that?
Oh, bloody
Can
hell.
you believe it? And
How time flies.
there's a bit of a debate in the Chin House at the moment.
Oh, okay.
I seem to think
Tara's
that
right.
Tara's right. Yeah, I mean that's the way
Yeah,
it is.
Tara's right. That's
Whatever it is.
Yeah. Sorry,
no
go ahead. You were
brainer.
saying.
I don't believe that Rosa has said her first word. I don't believe it.
Oh,
What does Tara think was her
interesting.
first word?
I,
Did you hear that? She said burlap.
she said dodecahedron.
Yeah.
Wow.
She
Oh, did she go? Just a minute reference for you. Did she go? Asshole.
no.
David Copperfield. David Hasselhoff, sorry.
So you when you walk in a room, she does wave at you. She likes waving at you, Rosa. She enjoys that.
Yes. No.
But Tara seems to think her first word is hi because she does say she goes hi like that. She does do the tone, and she does sort of do. She doesn't do, and I said she doesn't do it consistently. She sort of just makes that noise.
And it's hard to indicate that that's language rather than just a sound.
It's just sort of a
like,
sound.
"Ah."
So I don't think she's saying her first word. I think she's sort of imitating sounds. But her favourite.
So in 20 years, you're going to be arguing like it was not hi, it was
bloody
banana."
hi.
And then she's going to be like, "Mom, Dad, I'm leaving. Forget it. Just go. I will go." Anyway, her favourite noise at the moment, she likes to do this noise, is. She likes to do that. That's her favourite.
Nice.
She loves that.
That's getting close to a word, man.
It's getting close. So
By this time next week, hopefully she'll have a
she's
word.
saying something, but I don't know
Yeah,
what.
right.
And,
She's not English.
Just
She's
not English.
speaking in
baby.
Yeah, Gaelic.
Rugrats.
Tongues. She's speaking in tongues.
Rugrats. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there
what
you
she's
go.
speaking. Okay, so
right.
yeah, I've got to shout out my baby. I'm afraid.
Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go. Right, I think that's it, people, for this week.
Thank you for listening, everybody. We love you.
And thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, love.
Who contributed with emails, speak pipes, etc.
Yes.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh,
Vin
shout out to Mike
Diesel.
Post as well. Like that has given me small motivation to keep doing those TikTok posts because I'm like, no,
There you go.
this isn't working.
Who else can we get in?
And then he was like, oh, the reason why I did that was like
See?
maybe it'll draw new listeners, and then they never did.
That's
and then
that's the thing is that like, and then it does.
Wow.
That's why I can't stop teaching is because people are like, oh, you help me out.
Yes.
You made a difference.
Say that, Mr. Chin, but our listening figures are up 17% month on month. So I'm not saying that's a reason, but
we don't
what
know
you
that's
say,
the
what you're
reason.
saying is
Yeah.
it's all because of TikTok. Is that what
So
you're saying?
I think it's all because of this
Well,
sound clip right
in the
here.
butt.
It's
I
interesting
mean, when
because
people hear that, they're like, I'm going to
the
tune
one-
in for this whole show.
Right
the,
in the butt.
the one that he mentioned, the GTA 6 one, got 2,200 views, which isn't bad for TikTok. It's not brilliant. But the most successful one
It's
was
certainly better. It's a better quality video than the shit they put. I can't stand TikTok, man. It starts playing the most annoying shit as soon as you open it. I'm like, God damn. Anyway,
It's at least they've got standards
It's not for me.
on Twitter. When I opened up Twitter about a year ago for the first time in like 7 years, I just saw an innocent black man get shot, and I was like, I don't think I want to
Oh,
be on
well.
this platform at all.
Twitter is a shit show these
At
days.
least people moan about TikTok saying you can't say the word dead, you can't say the word suicide, you can't say the
Oh,
word
really?
kill,
Yeah,
because so people use different words. They go unalive,
Yeah,
game
right,
ended, all
sure.
this sort of stuff.
Right,
And I'm like, people get annoyed by that. I was like, but at least they're doing stuff like to stop you from
Yeah.
getting exposed
No,
to
that's
certain
true.
things. Like I
Hey.
appreciate that. Twitter is just like, I don't know. Let's watch
well,
like
certainly under Elon Musk, yeah.
yeah. It's just it's awful. It's
Open
just-
free speech unless you
Yeah.
criticize Elon Musk.
Yeah. Anyway, so thanks, Mike Posh. You give me a small bit of motivation
Yes.
to do another one.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, on
There
that
we go.
note, we do
We
need
done?
to get the hell out of here. So,
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Won't you?
Right in the butt.
Won't you?
Right in the butt.
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you just switch off the television set and go and do something less boring instead? Sitting at home and watch TV, burning up slow cooks of meat. Won't you? Won't you? Why don't you? Go, go, go!
maybe people should think before they speak.
What's the
Um,
new noise you've got there, Duke? What's that?
Are you talking about this one?
Yeah.
That's League of Legends final hit, getting some gold.
Right. Okay. Go on.
Because was it Jacinta that wrote in or said that
yeah.
she really likes the sound of that? I got you. Anything you want to hear, people, I got it covered. Unless
yeah,
it's quiet stuff that sounds nice. I don't have any of that.
Talking of stats, can I just say?
You love a
here's
stat.
some-
You love stats.
Here's some stats for you for the
do
show.
love
Show
stats.
stats. Show
I don't know if I
stats.
wanna
Show
hear it.
stats.
50% of our listeners come from the United Kingdom.
Right.
But
Okay.
33% come from the United States. So 33% of our listeners come from America. And then only 3% from Australia and 2% from Canada. So there you go. And then all the rest are divided between all little countries. The weirdest places we have listeners. You want to know weirdest places we have listeners?
I want to know.
Go on.
We have one download in Nambia.
Oh yeah. Shout out to
Okay.
Nambia. What?
One download in Nigeria.
Thanks, Nigeria.
All right.
I mean,
What
you
up,
know,
Lagos?
to be fair, Nigeria, your population is fucking massive. You need to pull your fucking finger out. To be fair,
Yeah.
so that one person in Nigeria.
Well, maybe there's better video game podcasts coming from Nigeria. and they
No,
wanna
that
support
one
the local
person in
people.
Nigeria needs to start sharing the love and go. Have you heard
They
this?
need to share the love. Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ, get to work.
We have one download in Russia.
Hello.
So someone's managed to access the internet there, which is
Nice. Nice.
kind of impressive. Just to listen to our show.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only reason they did it.
I like to listen while I hack.
They like to listen to the show. And we've got one listener in New Zealand. So there you go.
Only one in New Zealand.
Only one in New
Because
Zealand.
New Zealand
Brit-
have like a British vibe, don't they? Have a very good
Yeah.
British sort of sense of humour. I thought they might like it, but oh well.
And we've got 18 in Norway. 18 people. In
Hello, Norway.
Which is
What up, Norland?
There's a few people in Norway, which is kind of impressive.
Yeah, spread the word.
Spread the word. Get
Yeah,
some
let
more of your
people know how
mates.
cool you
Get
are.
your mates
Get your
listening
mates
in
in and
Norway.
go, hey man,
Come on, man.
can't believe this podcast. I don't know what a Norway accent is.
Yeah. I don't think it's out. Do you know what though?
What?
I would love us to get an email off like a more like out there.
Hello.
We could use some more international emails. Yes.
Yeah,
Whoever's
love-
listening in Nigeria, Norway.
I love
Yeah.
listening
People in
to the
Australia,
Any of these
Appreciate that.
smaller countries, yeah, send us an
Yeah.
email.
I am
Just to
the one
prove it.
from Nigeria.
Or a big
Prove you're
country like
listening there.
Nigeria.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
do
just
not,
use
Not a
Google.
bot.
I do not know how to unsubscribe from the podcast,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
just listen to it.
Use Google Translate or whatever you want to
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, just
Yeah,
send
go
us
for
an
it.
email. That'd be well cool.
Well, I'm hoping they can speak English
Yeah.
too. Otherwise, they're just listening to a podcast in a
yeah,
language
that
they
would be
don't understand.
weird. I hadn't thought of that. That is
I'm
that
trying to
would be-
learn.
That would be
They
kind
go
of
to
weird.
work for the English, the English-speaking employer, and they go, "Did you find the place all right?"
Right in the butt.
That's all they say, and they're like, "Get out."
You picked
Fired.
it up from a podcast. I don't know.
That's
I've just found out. Do you know where our biggest listeners are in Europe?
American Samoa. Heyo.
England, probably.
No, outside of England.
Oh, you mean like not in the UK?
Yeah, so within the European Union, which we're not
within
part
the
of.
EU, right?
On the
Within the
continent.
EU.
I see.
On the
I would
continent.
say Italy.
No,
Spain.
Italy is only six people in Italy.
Oh,
God.
Hmm.
Hold on,
Like it's not a
hold
big
on.
deal.
Spain
Molto
is-
bene. We appreciate you listening.
Can I say Spain is second with 35
Ooh.
downloads in Spain in the last. This is only in the last month, by the way.
Muchas
so these are-
gracias para
these are big
escúchame.
listeners.
I want to list I want to see if I can list some countries in the EU that might get it right.
Hang on.
France.
No, France is 2. Not many in France. They hate us.
Quel
don't they?
dommage.
Yeah, they hate the English.
Lithuania.
Peut-être si on parle en français.
Lithuania. I don't
nous
even know where that is on the
beaucoup
map. I
personnes qui
found
It's not far from it's next to
mean
I think it's next to Belgium, I think. Somewhere there.
Do you
Or
have
Pol-
a map of Europe that you're dealing with?
Yeah,
Or is
yeah.
it like
So
a
no, it has a
list?
full world
On the
map with all
analytics, it's got
shading on it.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Okay.
shading on it, so I can see all this shit.
Let's just say no.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I don't think- it is. Well, it isn't there anyway. I knew
Right.
that.
Look at this country. You are gay.
Slovakia,
No,
Slovenia,
no,
Romania,
no.
Malta.
It's more.
Liechtenstein.
It's more bigger than that. It's actually a very small place, but
it's bigger. It's bigger. Luxembourg,
but it's close. You're
Oh.
getting closer.
Germany.
Oh, it's-
Latvia,
no, but-
Latvia.
I think it borders
Lithuania.
Germany. But yeah, it does border Germany.
Poland?
It borders Germany.
It borders Germany.
Austria?
Belgium.
No, opposite direction. Borders Germany in the opposite direction.
Poland.
Alsace-Lorraine?
No, opposite direction to Poland. So
Alsace-Lorraine.
you're going
Germany.
further north.
Germany.
Further
Vichy?
north. No, it borders
I said
Germany. It can't be
He says it
Germany.
borders well, Germany does border Germany.
Yeah.
It does.
As soon as you leave Germany, you're in Germany.
Hungary.
No, it's north.
Well, go ahead, tell us. We give
Oh,
up
well.
what?
Oh, for
Bulgaria.
God's sake. No, I'm going to tell you
Croatia.
because you know we're going to get
Just
it.
tell us.
Czech
It's
Republic.
fine.
Czech Republic.
It's the Netherlands.
No fucking
Netherlands. We have
Netherlands,
77
all right.
downloads in the Netherlands.
We love
which
your
is
wood
kind of
shoes.
Yeah,
We
True
we went to the Netherlands, didn't we? Stu?
we
Yeah, you
did.
did.
We did. So yeah, 77
Well,
downloads.
the city
in the
that everyone goes to.
We
in the Netherlands.
smoke the Wade. We smoke the Wade.
It's
which
probably
I'm
just
pretty
people.
sure is-
It's probably just people from the UK on the stag do's. That's what it'll be.
Yeah,
Or head
all
do.
listening
It's like
together.
when people go to
Yeah.
Las Vegas and they're like, "Oh, I went to America." It's like, yeah, you went to one part of America. Like, very
What would you say is the
particular.
most American place that I've been to? Because I've been to.
You've been to San Francisco.
Been to
That's
San
pretty-
Francisco.
I mean, that's the thing is that like San Francisco, Chicago, Miami have personality. So many. This is probably true
San
about a lot of
Francisco
British
did,
cities
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like because of monoculture, McDonald's, Subway,
Yeah.
Walmart, every place looks the same. And the things that make a community interesting are often little shops,
Yeah.
natural, vistas and places to go in nature, amusement parks, recreation, museums, stuff like
Yeah.
that. But also like there was this restaurant in the Madison, Wisconsin that had like this, it was just filled with these, weird machines and toys and dolls that dance and stuff. And it was such a bizarre place. And they had a Ferris or a merry-go-round out front. And it was just a cool, every time someone came to town, I'd be like, you need to go to Ella's Deli. And now it's gone. So I feel like that's the thing about American cities is that so few of them have that character that
I
makes them
feel like the
distinctive.
most sort of American city I've been that's not that commercial was San Luis Obispo. Like it was so like random. Like it wasn't even like a very good tourist attraction, but it felt like it's just a college town, and there was just a big
Yeah,
food
sure.
market on. And Tara's like, oh, there's not a lot here, and I was like, well, but it just feels very off the track, like
Got some character.
it's
Yeah,
got a bit of
sure.
character on it. Yeah, it wasn't our favorite
Yeah.
place, but I felt like that was like the most off-beaten track that we went to.
cool.
Anyway, time to go. I think, Stu. We need to-
I think it is time to go away. Time to go away.
Especially when Stu starts singing. It's the time to end.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.